Hello and welcome. This is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan, your vegan cult leader, doing the weekly Friday live stream. So whatever time it is for you right now, mark this in your calendar, set an alarm or an alert, write it down on paper if you're not digital ready kind of person. This is it, the Friday live stream where we talk about any and all things vegan. So I want to say hello to all our channel members and Peter, our moderator. Thanks for being here. It's always great to see you guys. So you guys know what's up. Like I said, we talk about any and all things vegan. And we do. We sometimes, we'll go off into different aspects about veganism. And this isn't just for all our, our longtime vegans and channel members. This live stream is for anyone who is even just vegan curious. You don't have to be vegan to watch this live stream. You don't have to, there's no laws or anything like that. Well, there are a couple rules, just, basic civility, just common sense stuff. Like, don't be a jerk. Don't be attacking. You can disagree with me. Yeah, I'm not a narcissist. You can have different opinions than I do. It's totally cool. Just be respectful, be civil. That's all I ask. Hey, if you're totally not vegan, anti-vegan even, you can watch this show and also disagree. Again, just be civil, be respectful. And if you have an argument you'd like to bring up, some great example of why I should quit being vegan or why you think veganism, you've debunked it, just show it to us and we'll have a look at it, and I'll look at it with an open mind and use my critical thinking skills. I have a degree in philosophy. I'm a philosophy grad school dropout, by the way. So we'll look at it critically, look what kind of evidence you have, look at your argument, and see if you've indeed debunked veganism or whatever point you want to make about why you think veganism sucks. Looks like Heidi Chadwick just joined the Happy Fam. So Heidi, if that's true, yeah, looks like it's true information there. Welcome, Heidi. Yeah, you're new to Happy Fam, right, Heidi? I don't recall you being a Happy Fam member before, so awesome. Great. Let's see. Let's see if I've missed any questions or comments here. But that's it. Yeah, this is open for any and all vegans. So yeah, usually for the first hour plus, I usually down about 2 hours. Usually for the first hour and a half, we stick pretty strictly to, like I said, any and all things vegan. And sometimes later on, we'll go into some other topics that might not be fully 100% vegans. A lot of times you guys might have questions about, say, my music. I'm a music producer, my bands, stuff like that. We'll talk about that. Sometimes we'll talk about just weird stuff, like what's your favorite thing you saw on streaming media, like movie or series the past week. We'll talk about any and all odd things later on. But right now, at the start, we'll talk about veganism. And Angie's here, awesome, and Uncle's here too, woohoo! We are fully protected for the time being. Triple moderator powers here. So welcome, thanks Uncle, and thanks Angie. I know Angie's gonna probably watch one of her Korean shows in a little bit, one of those reality shows that she's into that airs every Friday. So very convenient. Often you guys might even hear her laughing from way back here. This door's closed. She's like many, like dozens of feet away, and you guys can hear her laughing. So anyway, I've heard about that, Peter. Yeah, hopefully this bird flu doesn't turn into some kind of pandemic or something. We've been hearing all the warnings about how this could happen. This is not like something that just happened out of the blue, like some discovery that no one knew about, like a comet that no one knew about until a day ago. It's not like that, but no one has been listening, so we'll see what happens. Wow, 900 people around the world have been infected with this new bird flu, and half of them die. Well, I hope it doesn't get all crazy again. The world shuts down, or no one will shut it down, right? Because now everyone's totally flus are, pandemics are a hoax. It's the elite world order, Bill Gates kind of thing. Hopefully it doesn't get all crazy again. Weird how it's happening during an election year time too. But it's inevitable. I don't think there's any conspiracy to it. I just think, it's just inevitable something like that would happen. So we'll see. Oh yeah, one of Angie's favorite bands, Korean, of course, doing a live stream late tonight, but I really doubt, she's been pretty tired today. We've been doing a lot lately, so I really doubt you'll want to stay up to 6 a.m. Pacific. That sounds pretty crazy. Yeah, Dr. Bear, it's very predictable, preventable problem, but people just can't stop eating their freaking meat, right? Pandemics and economic hardships be damned, death be damned, I gotta have my freaking meat, but it's regenerative, so it's good for the planet and all. Anyway, Yeah, Robert, I didn't even get into the whole background of who the owner of Sage is, how she's related to Cafe Gratitude. And I made a series, Angie and I made a series of videos about Cafe Gratitude. I think it was like 2016 or so, when their owners, it was a vegan, Cafe Gratitude, if you're not familiar, is a West Coast a small chain of high-end vegan restaurants, maybe like 5-6 locations in California. And all promoting healthy vegan food and all that. And then it turned out that the owners have a cattle ranching / cattle slaughter business. I go, how the F do you go from having a vegan restaurant chain to a cattle slaughter business? I mean, if you're going to leave the restaurant chain business, maybe get into something else, like, anything other than cattle slaughter, So yeah, I didn't even get into that, Robert. So what'd you say? I know the Molly, the owner of Sage, is the daughter of the owners of Gracias Madre and Cafe Gratitude. The Gracias Madre in San Francisco, I think, was owned by those people, but the ones down here are some of their children. It's a whole separate business unit from what you're describing there. There's rumors they will serve meat. I don't think so. I told you their business operations have been separated from the whole parents company for a long time. I think the whole time that they've been in Southern California, which has been like, a long time, like since we've been running the channel, basically. So unless they want to move in that direction because they're losing money or something, I'm not saying they are. I don't know. Maybe it'd be a business decision, but I don't think they're going to go off in this whole regenerative, saving the planet through slaughtering cows thing. So I hope not. I hope we're Yeah, but that original Gracias Madre in San Francisco has been closed down for years now. And I've been to that one a few times too. So, yeah, raw vegan when it opened. Then finally, raw and cooked. And now, I think all the Cafe Gratitudes are closed. Like our Gracias Madre here in Orange County, I don't live in Orange County, but near Orange County, was a Cafe Gratitude at first. And then maybe like 5 odd years ago, a little bit before COVID, they converted it to a Gracias Madre, which is great because before then, if I wanted Gracias Madre, I'd have to drive to West Hollywood. And that is like, as the crow flies, not too bad, but you're going into the beast of like West Hollywood. Traffic's nuts, parking's nuts. It's a hassle. It's such a hassle. I'd really want to go there. But yeah, with it in Newport Beach, way easier to get to. You don't have to go through a hellish city and all that to get to it. So anyway, yeah, we do enjoy going there from time to time, particularly for like happy hour or Taco Tuesday, something like that. It's kind of expensive to go for the full price, the regular price times. Ooh. Hang on one second. I have too much crap up here. All right. Anyway, let's get back to it. Dr. Barry, you visited Gracias Madre when you visited California to go to Disneyland. Yeah, the original one in San Francisco in the Mission District closed. But yeah, the ones in Southern California doing just fine. West Hollywood and Newport Beach. So yeah, like I said, it's best of my knowledge, they're a whole separate business unit, separate owners, not influenced by the meat-eating relatives of theirs, the formerly vegan, now into slaughtering animals to save the world kind of thing. So anyway, hey, Metalhead, thank you, Vegan Metalhead, for our first and hopefully not last super chat tip of the evening. You want to open a vegan diner in your town if the money allows eventually. Yeah, keep working towards goals. Yeah, a lot of times goals take years to become real. So that's the thing, to have the vision, to have a goal, and then have a plan. The first step is to have this dream or goal, an idea. The next step is to figure out what you need to do, and maybe you should start taking action now, saving money, making the right connections, whatever you got to do. A lot of times it takes years. I have some long-term plans in the works, as you guys know. So yeah, start now, and hopefully after X amount of months or years, you'll be in a way better position to make that dream really happen. But yeah, that's what it takes. You have a plan and you work towards it. Green Planet, you're on a limited income. Is it possible to be vegan on $290 a month? Well, given that plants typically are some of the cheapest foods in the grocery store. I mean, if you think being vegan means you have to eat like expensive, fancy processed stuff like Beyond and Impossible Burgers and stuff like that, and fancy cheeses, yeah, $290 a month might be tough. But I know many people on limited means who, I mean, I'm saying, what's cheaper? What is cheaper than, seriously, there's nothing cheaper than going to the supermarket and buying, like, say, legumes, either in a can or a sack, and soak them yourself. Legumes are cheap. You get a lot of protein from legumes and carbohydrates. And let's see, and then grains, some of the cheapest foods on the planet. Like people that live in, like, you know, poor Asian countries, like on $5 a day or something like that, they're not eating a bunch of meat. They're eating a bunch of grains with some greens on top. Potatoes, super cheap. A lot of markets, you can get a giant sack of potatoes, like 10, 20 pounds for like $10 or something like that sometimes. So my point is, I don't know how, if you're trying to design the lowest budget diet possible that consists of healthy food, not just a bunch of like snacks and crap, I don't see how you could find a less expensive way to do it than by being completely plant-based. Because meat is expensive, dairy's expensive. What does it cost to get, like, hear people complaining online, like on Reddit, oh, milk's like $10 a gallon, or eggs are super. I don't know. I don't care. I don't buy that stuff. That's expensive stuff. Yeah, what's cheaper than legumes, grains, bananas? You can get a 40-pound box of bananas at many stores, like grocery stores, for like $20-$30 or something. So yeah, it totally can be done. I'm just saying, what would you be buying otherwise? Because the comparison of buying plants is probably going to be cheaper. So yeah, just don't buy the expensive, fancy stuff. And that would be true if you were on a non-vegan diet on a budget too, trying to make $290 a month work. I agree, Uncle. Any restaurant would do well by offering the recipes in Angie's cookbook. Wow, that'd be weird, huh? That'd be kind of cool. Oh man, I'm hitting all my stuff here when I put my water down. Let me move this up here. Okay. Yo, Joseph Logan's here. Awesome. AJ's here. Fritz is here. Jesse. All right. The crew has assembled. You had the best vegan latte earlier this week. Well, yeah, it's easy to make a vegan latte. Yeah, just put some kind of plant milk in there, right? I'm enjoying vegan lattes more and more now, thanks to Angie. Not the soy latte of California. No, like oat milk, you know? Oat milk latte, California. Yeah, Peter, speaking about drinking expensive, privileged milk, yeah, don't drink milk. Apparently people have been catching this new chicken virus through their milk, you know? I don't think that's going to happen if you're drinking oat milk or soy milk or any plant-based milk. But of course, animal products have all sorts of crap in them. People, oh, you got to have milk for strong bones. Well, do you need to get like weird viruses and crap too that's in your dairy milk that's not in plant-based milk? Yo, Robert's here too. Wow, what's that vegan metal? You're eating a vegan Cracker Barrel breakfast tomorrow. Wow, that sounds awesome. Ooh, Heidi, what'd you get? You actually got original hemp milk instead of unsweetened, and it was so sweet with brown rice syrup as the first ingredient. Threw the whole thing out. Yeah, hemp milk is kind of an acquired taste. I remember when I first tried hemp milk a long time ago, like before I went vegan probably. I thought it was kind of weird, but kind of liked it after a while, you know? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I like almond and particularly oat milk so much more. Let's see, Peter, more background on this chicken. Yeah, Mike put out a video, right? The vegan, the virus jumped from chickens to cows, and through the milking process, they have spread the virus through multiple cows, even showed up in the milk itself. Wow. Just more reason. Like, why eat animal products? Like, why? I mean, first of all, you're harming animals, exploiting animals, killing, slaughtering animals, and then you're putting yourself at risk of getting these animal-borne diseases or whatever, however they're described. Hey, I'm not a scientist. What's that, Dr. Barry? Your parents' neighbor just got yaks? Wow, what's that, like a dromedary? Like a emu? Apparently they are less environmentally destructive to raise than cattle, but certainly people saying cows are so great for them. Oh, yaks, like in Mongolia. I've seen those, like those Asian cows. But people say cows are great for the environment. Yeah, some people say you need to raise and slaughter cows in order to save planet Earth from climate change. Some people say that. Oh, thanks, AJ. Yeah, my video about Sage. Yeah, I just took it personally. I've been to Sage Vegan Bistro a few times. Not recently, not since like way before like COVID and everything. Just because like why? We have so many. It's like living where we are here, where we live. There's so many within like a like a 10-mile radius. There's so many vegan options, good vegan options to choose from, that I really find no need to drive all the way to like where the Sages are. Like the nearest one would be like with traffic at least an hour's drive. And why put myself through such misery? The food there isn't like amazing. I could see it was like the best vegan food in the world. It might be worth it, make it a special trip or something like that. But no, just haven't been in a long time. There's just too many better options that are local. Wow, Nikki. Wow, I've been waiting to see if someone can get their cholesterol over 1,000. So you're saying, yeah, Carnivore Cringe. Make sure you follow Carnivore Cringe on Instagram. They might be on other platforms too, but I see them. I'm subscribed to them on Instagram. It's cool. This person goes and like, takes screenshots of people's posts in these anti-vegan groups, these carnivore groups and stuff. And there's all sorts of stuff there that just makes you blow your mind. People talk about how, oh, vegan diets are so unhealthy. You're going to die as a vegan, such crap. And yeah, here, someone on Carnivore Cringe had a 1,004 cholesterol level. Yeah, I didn't know it could go. I always wondered if you can get it to 1,000. But my friend who was a cardiologist says, yeah, it can happen, but it's just rare. Thank God it's rare, huh? Okay, so yaks are definitely not local or native to where your parents live, huh? Yeah, I thought yaks were an Asian native animal. I wonder if all these people are drinking like woo-woo raw milk right now. I wonder if that puts them even more at risk of getting like diseases like this bird flu virus and stuff. I wonder if the pasteurization helps kill some of that. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I have no idea. Wow, that sounds gross, Peter. Yeah, let Hinch Herbivore deal with that guy. Yeah, I don't have time for all these nuts online that eat weird like that. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to, respond. Well, I guess that's misinformation that they're spreading. But anyway, cool. I can't respond to all of them. I'd have to make videos every day. Yeah, okay, I'm right, Peter. Yeah, pasteurization helps a little bit, but raw is even worse. So yeah, if you really want to get this bird flu thing, just keep drinking your trendy woo-woo raw milk. And yeah, I saw that, Heidi. Trump was talking about, at his speech, was it in Wisconsin, how he was going to a vegan restaurant. He kept saying the word vegan. I heard him say it at least 3 or 4 times. Vegan. I'm going to try some vegan stuff. Some healthy vegan food. It's like, really? It's 2024? You don't know how to pronounce vegan? That's just mind-blowing. Like, vegan? Like, was he thinking of Vegas or something? Or I don't know. Yeah, I guess if you cover the N up here, it looks like Vega, like the star Vega. I don't think he knows much about astronomy, like Vega, but yeah, Vega, Vegas, maybe that's it, maybe. But yeah, vegan. You think he's doing it on purpose? Like, why? Why do you think that, Heidi? Just curious why you think it's on purpose. It sounded like very intentional when I saw the clip of him saying that. Yeah, maybe 10 times, Angie just kept saying it. But yeah, at least he was willing to try it. I'll give Trump some kudos for that, that he didn't just immediately dismiss it. Oh, vegan food. Oh, Bill Gates, New World Order, trying to force people to not eat their meat anymore. He didn't say that. He was going to try it. But I think the only reason why it was that he's going to this restaurant, this vegan restaurant, that was owned by a big contributor to him in Wisconsin, where he was giving that speech at. I think the person was like nearby, near the stage too, if I remember the context properly. Yeah, like he mispronounces China. China. Am I doing it right? China. Vegan. China. Yeah, and I've been hearing all over the news that his attorneys are trying all sorts of strategies to keep him falling asleep in his New York trial. I heard it gets worse when when the attorneys need to approach the judge and their client's left there all by himself, and that's when he tends to doze off. When his attorneys are there, they can nudge him or whatever they got to do, but when he's by himself is when it really gets there's nothing that he can do. I know I'm not here to pick on people, but he has no basis for calling the president Sleepy Joe. I mean, if you're falling asleep all the time and it's being observed and documented by all these people in the courtroom, you really make up another one for Joe. Maybe he's sort of tired Joe or something like that, mellow Joe. But you can't do the sleepy one anymore. Just saying, yeah. If you're following, I'm just saying, hypocrism is this totally like, I call people out all the time when I make my anti-vegan response videos. Yeah, you can call him old Joe. Joe's what, like 4 years older or something like that? Call him old Joe, but not sleepy Joe. Yeah, I agree, Angie. You just go back to reality TV and pursue his new career as a mogul in the online media empire. He had his IPO for his company and made a lot of money off. They just milk that. Yeah, they should give him another season of Apprentice, huh? Okay, 3 years. Yeah, I thought it was 3 or 4. But yeah, just call him old Joe. But he has no reason, no justification to use the sleepy Joe. I've not heard of all these stories of Biden, Joe, Dark Brandon falling asleep, all the time. I'm not saying Trump's a bad person falling asleep. I just go, he just can't use the sleepy Joe without everyone in America just cracking a laugh. Like, nope, that doesn't work. That's not a, I mean, first of all, ad hominem attacks are completely wrong and inappropriate, especially in politics. But if you're doing the very thing that you're accusing the person you're trying to attack of doing, fall asleep, doesn't work. But yeah, the greater point is what Dr. Bear brings up, right? I'm going to read your comment verbatim. They're both sleepy. We deserve better and younger candidates. Maybe like some Gen X candidates instead of Lost Generation or old Gen, what are they called? Boomers? I forgot. They're right in there, that age group. Why not a Gen X candidate? Like someone like myself, someone my age. Not me, but, someone my age. That would be a little better because I would be able to promise if I were to be president of the United States, I don't fall asleep all the time. I go to sleep at night and I wake up in the morning and I don't doze off throughout the day. Yeah, Cory Booker, one of the few people in the United States who had it was running for president on a major party who was actually vegan and did mention some vegan stuff from time to time. Is there a Gen Q? I don't believe so. No, there's like of living people. I think the oldest one right now goes back to maybe there's older, but like my mom, her friends and relatives, they're the silent generation, and then after that there's the boomers, and then the Gen Xers, which I'm proudly a member of, born the same year as Kurt Cobain, and then what comes after Gen X? Is it Gen Y and millennials? And then Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Did I get the order right there? I think I did. Wait, after Gen X, correct me. Here's where I'm kind of confused. After Gen X, is there a Gen Y or is that millennials? I'm kind of not sure what the relationship is for Gen Y and millennials. Even though this is not a vegan related thing, if anyone wants to clue me in on their knowledge of Gen Y versus millennial, let me know what's up with that. Is that the same thing? Are they synonyms referring to the same cohort? All right, another Gen X representing there, Robert. Awesome. Okay, that's what I thought, Angie, too. I thought it started as Gen Y, and then the name changed to millennial. That's what I thought. Okay, thanks for confirming what I thought was going on there. I didn't want to speak authoritatively because I wasn't sure. So now, that supports what I thought was going on. I didn't think there was a generation in between. Anyway, not that it really matters for talking about veganism or anything like that. Okay, yeah, all right. Gen Y and millennials, same thing. Refers to the same cohort. Samuel, yes, I believe you're right there. I believe they are the oldest presidents in American history. Like, wow. Norrare, what's my opinion of the carnivore movement? I don't really follow any carnivore people. I don't waste my time listening to carnivore influencers or carnivore followers. I will say this, the little bit I have seen, it's typically fueled by misinformation, pseudoscience, and just appeals to like stupid things like jackedness. Like, look at this guy, he's jacked, therefore all the things you hear about cholesterol and all that are wrong. He's jacked, he's got to be healthy. There's no way a jacked person could be sick on the I hear just a lot of weird crap like that. It's kind of like fruitarianism, you know, it's like the same thing, kind of pseudoscience, appeals to how you look in a bikini or something like that, rather than any like scientifically, you know, sound measures of like what's considered health. A lot of anecdotes, stuff like that. So that's my opinion of that. But bottom line is, yeah, it's compared to fruitarianism, it's actually worse in the sense that at least fruitarians are vegans. I mean, they eat a vegan diet, fruitarians. Most of them aren't intentionally vegan in the sense that, you know, fruitarianism is not a stance against animal cruelty. It's something else. It's some kind of eating raw food because it's the healthiest, optimal thing or whatever. At least they're not eating animal products. At least as far as how I understand fruitarian diet is defined. But carnivore, yeah, they slaughter animals. So therefore, yeah, I think of it in a worse light. Because at least fruitarians aren't harming animals. Yeah, cap presidential candidates at like retirement age. So what's that, like 67, 69? That seems reasonable, you know? So anyway, Vondi, what up? Team Bean for protein. But yeah, we are far from carnivores, Robert. Yeah, I was just speaking on a moral kind of point of view, and just an overview of how I see their information being, you know, spread. But yeah, when you get down to it, yeah, humans, if you look at our ancestry, assuming you don't discount like evolution or something like that, our ancestors, they were carnivores. They ate primarily fruit. Yeah, sometimes a chimp or a bonobo would attack another primate, you know, but that's not their primary source of food or calories. They might eat some sort of, but yeah, they eat mainly plants and tree bark and bugs and stuff like that. Yo, Fallon Marie. Let's see. No rare. Is canola oil part of my diet? Well, I'm not afraid of canola oil if that's what you're asking. In fact, my cardiologist, you know, said I could. She kind of recommended I had some canola oil. I don't really use canola oil, but no, I mean, unless it's in an ingredient that's in some food that I'll get when I go to a restaurant, or if I buy something at the market that's not a whole food. But no, we don't cook with canola or anything like that, but I'm not fearful of canola. This whole thing about seed oils killing people is, again, part of this whole misinformation campaign. No. Again, heart disease, #1 killer of people. My cardiologist flat out said canola oil lowers your LDL cholesterol. I go, wow, that's cool, but I don't really eat much stuff with canola oil. Yeah, Sam, good point. All herbivores, like our ancestors, like chimpanzees, bonobos, Australopithecus, if we want to go back further, yeah, eat meat. All herbivores eat meat at one time or another, but they don't need it to survive. Yeah, just because you can eat something and not die immediately, eating something to stay alive and it doesn't kill you, it's not poisonous, doesn't mean that's what you have to eat, or that you need to eat it or something like that. It's a weird thing how people, you know, say, oh, well, we can eat, we've always been eating meat. Yeah, but we've always been eating plants too. So there goes your argument. Is keto the same or like carnivore? No, broadly defined, those are different ways of eating, because in keto there are plants that are okay to eat. Even though it's a higher meat diet, you know, but still plants are okay. And generally carnivore plants, not good. But I've seen carnivore influencers say, oh, I eat plants now, some plants. So I go these definitions, you know, I'm just using the broad kind of sense of these definitions. Yeah, Uncle, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can technically do something doesn't mean you ought to do it. You know, just because you can do something. I can throw bricks off the freeway and hit cars down below. Does it mean I should do that? No, but I can if I wanted to. There's nothing stopping me other than breaking laws and going to jail and killing people and stuff. But yeah, just because you can do something doesn't mean you ought to do that. It's good to do something. It could be bad to do something that you can technically do. You can shoot someone, right? You can kill someone. Doesn't mean you ought to do it. Aging, yeah, there's a big distinction. Yeah, you can construct a ketogenic diet of only plants, of consuming only plants. You can't do that at carnivore. That's kind of an oxymoron. You know, it doesn't work out. Yeah, vegan keto is definitely a thing. If you eat a Venus flytrap, is that carnivore? I don't know. I've never eaten a Venus flytrap. I've never heard of anyone eating a Venus flytrap, Uncle. Yeah, Dr. Bear. I saw Lifting Vegan Logic, speaking of canola oil, like making a video. Oh, I went vegan and it killed me. I ate all the seed oils. You know, making fun of that whole fear mongering about seed oils. Yeah, Peter, you said it right there. I'm not going to repeat it, but you got it right there, Peter. All right, Angie's going to leave us. Bye, Angie. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy your TV shows tonight. Yeah, Dr. Bear, I agree with you. I've had, you've probably seen on occasion, it hasn't happened a lot recently, but like a year or two, three ago, I was getting a lot of people coming, like at least one every live stream, ask me, hey, what are your thoughts on vegan keto? And I'm just going, okay, I mean, better than like non-vegan keto, but why? What do you hope to achieve? What is your goal? What do you think that you're going to get from vegan keto that you cannot attain through just like how we eat, like in our cookbooks? And I never really got a clear answer. My guess, I'm just going out on a limb here, is I think they're hoping it's some kind of vegan keto or keto in general, some kind of quick weight loss thing or something like that. They're not doing it to like make themselves more ethical or something like that. They're looking for some kind of health or bodily benefit, obviously. And I believe it's like they think it's some way to lose weight or something like that. But I think they don't want to admit that to me on the live stream here. That's my guess. But let me know if you have any thoughts on that. That's just my speculation. You know, I've never got anyone to admit that, but I think that's what they're hoping that vegan keto will provide them, which couldn't possibly happen from eating whole food, like plant, like we do in our cookbooks. Yeah, Brandon. Yeah, quick weight loss is typically not a good thing. I've never heard too many. I don't remember doctors saying, yeah, lose weight quickly. They say, yeah, if you need to lose weight, do it in a healthy, responsible way, gradually over time. Something like that, rather than, hey, starve yourself or go on this diet where you're going to lose a bunch of water weight really quickly, because that's real weight loss. No, that's not what I've heard doctors recommend. Let's see, Jessica, you lost a little more weight before and after your birthday from not having snacks and salt anymore. Yeah, salt right there. Water retention from salt. Yeah, that can do it right there. Only 15 to 16 pounds away from average weight now. Good for you. Yeah, VLAM. Hey, V, I didn't know you're here yet. Is this your first comment? Oh, you've been here. Second comment from you, V. You're always tempted to ask if they have epilepsy when they say they they eat keto, because, yeah, keto has been shown through the scientific literature. I think that's why it came to people's attention. It was like a diet that had some efficacy, some helpfulness for people who have epilepsy. I don't know if it helps everyone or a certain percentage or whatever, but, yeah, it has a connection, a helpful effect for epileptic people. Okay, Vondi says ketogenic diets have evidence backing the efficacy for certain mental disorders. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. All right, so it could help vegans in that regard. Hutchie says you lost 90 pounds doing low carb in under a year. That was back in 2010 or so when I lost your... Oh, let's see. Back in 2020 or so when you still eat animals. Okay, so MZR saying people do keto to reduce bloating and the amount of poops you take as a vegan, like, why would you want to not poop as much as a vegan? Is that a problem? People just say, I'm too busy. I don't have time to poop 2 or 3 times a day. I only want to do 1 poop every other day or something like that. Or and bloating, okay, that could be, there's some truth to that. I mean, I had my smoothie after going to the gym today, and I noticed, okay, I have a little bloat right now. I'm sure it's back down now. A little bloat for an hour or 2 or something like that. But, you know, it's not like a permanent thing or something like that. I wasn't like taking some important photographs or something. Yeah, too busy to poop. I'm just wondering, like, what's wrong with pooping like 2 or 3 times a day? I mean, especially the way we eat. I tell you, they come out. It's quick. You know, you just sit down, bam, it comes out. You're done. It's not like, I remember what it's like before being vegan. You're sitting there. It's a big deal. Like, bring a newspaper, big Moby Dick novel or something like that. You know, it's gonna take a while, and you know, you do it once every day or so. But yeah, it's like boop, done. You know, especially you have a day like me, boop, squirt. Out of there, you know, in and out, like 15, 20 seconds or something. Too much information, maybe. I'm just telling you, it's not a big deal. There's a good point, Fritz. Yeah, your mental health is better because you don't eat animals. Because when you did eat meat, you were aware that you were intentionally causing animals to suffer and die in order for you to live. That's the whole beauty about veganism. Coming to that realization that you don't need to eat animals in order to live, and you can eat plants. That's really all veganism is, that kind of that realization. Oh. Wow, I don't know if I think I do remember that. Uncle South Park doing a whole episode about fecal transplants. Of course, a carnivore influencer would say something like that, Peter. Going to the bathroom is bad for you. You're pooping out your nutrients. I mean, is that something that's backed by actual science, or is that just some guy's opinion, some guy who doesn't understand how what poop is, what its function is, what we're pooping out of your, you know, anyway. Wow, Jay, on Reddit, my new favorite social media platform, you saw a carnivore say he ate 60 pounds of ground beef a month and pooped once a week. I wonder what his or her doctor would say about that. Yeah, I poop once a week. Yeah, you're pooping out waste. Exactly, MZR. I mean, I'm not a scientist or anything like that or nutritionist, but I know when you're pooping out the end result of what your digestion couldn't use anymore. It's waste. It's not, you're pooping out your nutrients. There were nutrients in your food. They became bioavailable through digestion. Your body utilized them, and when it couldn't utilize anymore, you're pooping it out. Where does Faker get that? No, the poop is so important. It needs to like sit inside your body as long as you can because there's all these nutrients that your body's absorbing from this old poop. I mean, that's a wacky theory. That's an extraordinary claim, and extraordinary claims demand or require extraordinary evidence. So show us the money on that one. Yeah, live mercifully. You don't want to try to imagine that for sure. Yeah, it's just full of crap, right, Robert? Nonsense like that just shows how full of crap, literally and figuratively, such carnivore influencers can be. Maybe there's some not ethical, but evidence-based carnivore influencers, and I'm not bagging on them. I've never seen them yet. I wonder if they're out there, but yeah, I'm talking about the ones who just say such complete nonsense. It's the poop stream, Robert. You got it. So this dude basically gave birth to a 10-pound baby every week. Well, I'm getting warm here. Hang on one second. I'm going to cruise over here. It's starting to heat up here. It's starting to become summer. Thanks. Okay, let me see what I have this set up as right now. All right, let's see what this does. Need some AC. Oh wow, AJ! Oh wow, thank you so much. That's like the biggest super chat tip I've seen from anyone in a long time. Thank you so much, AJ. Thank you for your weekly cult dues here. My never-ending mission to defend veganism from all attackers. Thanks so much. That's my role. That's my function as the vegan cult leader. You're very generous, AJ, and we appreciate you. Ryan used the wheels on his computer chair. Vegan deficiency. Now, I went to the gym today. I did a lot of jumping, like grabbing the rim, pulling it down. 57-year-old man doing dunk practicing, basically. I know I rolled on my chair just because I'm wearing these crappy thin shorts that I usually wear just when I'm lazy, laying around the house or going to bed. I didn't want to look all slobby for you guys, so I tried to hide them as much as possible by rolling on this office chair. That was my intention, not because I'm deficient or anything like that. No, I mean, no, I was grabbing the rim today at the gym over and over. Yeah, Peter, I kind of think that an evidence-based carnivore would be a bit of an oxymoron, huh? Yeah, Allison, as I understand it, and again, I wasn't a biology major or something like that, but meat sits in the colon and putrefies, rather than what carnivore doctor is saying there that, or that's not his name, but he's a carnivore and a doctor. He's saying, no, instead of meat sitting in the colon and putrefying, meat sits in the colon and actually has all these nutrients and actually is like getting better. The longer it sits in the colon, the more great it is. It's just absorbing more nutrients and sending them out to your body in the colon. I mean, I didn't know you absorbed nutrients in the colon anyway. But anyway, let's get back to it here. No, they're not PJ bottoms. They're just crappy little thin, not thin, but there's little, they're just comfortable lounge kind of shorts, just laying around. I mean, I'll wear them outside sometimes. I like take the trash out. It's no big deal, but I don't think they look all that classy on screen here. Wow, AJ. Ryan, watching the Sage Vegan Bistro video, you kept thinking, wow, if you didn't know, I'd say we're 40 at most. Thanks, AJ. It's so funny how the only people that say, oh, you look like you're 70 or something like that are anti-vegans. I tell you, when I play people at the gym, basketball, sometimes I'll ask them before or after the game, depends on the situation. They never say, oh, you look like you're 70 or something like that. They'll say 40, they'll say sometimes 30s. Sometimes someone will say late 40s or 50s, something like, early 50s, but I never heard anyone say you look like you're in your 70s or even your 60s, which I hear a lot of the anti-vegans say. I mean, it's so pathetic that people try to, that they intentionally try to say words with the hope of making me feel bad about myself or something. Like, what does that have to do with veganism? Hurting people's feelings because you don't like their diet? How lame is that? I just learned not to believe them. I don't believe them because I know what they're trying to do. And it's just complete stupid and mean and bigoted. I mean, let's say I didn't age great. Let's just say I really look a lot older than my 56 and a half years, my appearance of, say I look really old. Say I didn't take good care of my skin. I ended up surfing more than I have, and I spent more time out in the sun, and I see a lot of surfers who really, older surfers, surfers over the age of 30 have been surfing like most of their lives. Their skin gets rocked, even with sunscreen. Let's say that was me. You know how mean it would be to go up to someone like that and say, hey, you look really old for your age. Like, what kind of a-hole does that, Oh, it's okay for me to say that because I disagree with his diet. That's no justification to say something mean or ageist. But apparently anti-vegans have no morals. I mean, not only lacking morals as far as what they eat, but morals as far as like respecting fellow human beings. Uncle, you look old for a teenager. That's awesome. Yeah, Produce Not Pills. Yeah, I kid you not. There are anti-vegans who love to say, "Oh, Ryan, you look like you're 70." You go, "Really? Tell me more about that." It's funny how no one who's sitting right in front of me, like at the gym, right in front of me, they see my whole body, my face, they see me playing basketball. None of them say, "Oh, yeah, I think you're about 70. After that game where you just beat the crap out of me one-on-one, I think you're about 70. Like, no, I tell you, roughly, at least like early 40s or maybe like 46, so maybe 10 years younger than my actual age. You know, I'm being honest. Yeah, they don't say I look like I'm 28 or something like that, but they never say I'm like 60 or 70. Yeah, and Six, I agree. Oh, hey Six, I don't remember you from past. But yeah, so what? You know, yeah, we both look great for age. Yeah, but so what? Yeah, that's not what veganism is about. Let's look at the definition for veganism here. It's a way of living which seeks to produce. I got the wrong bit here. That seeks to make its followers look as young as possible. It's an age reversal diet. No, I'm just saying it's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. But you know, I mean, just because Angie and I look a little better than average for our age, like, it has nothing to do. That's not I'm not saying it's veganism that caused that. It could be a lot of factors, you know, our lifestyle, our genetics, the fact that we intentionally chose to not, like, you know, have children, which I know is a really stressful thing that can age and stuff too. And kudos to everyone that has children. I'm not saying you have to do it the way I do it or anything like that. There's a lot of variables that can affect how one appears in later life. You know, it has, you know, so it's so insincere and just stupid when all these anti-vegans try to shame vegans for aging. Like, really, if you're gonna come at me for being 56 and not looking that good, let's look no further than like other people my age, and let's look at people who are super wealthy, guys that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, like Joe Rogan. He's born the same year as me. I mean, does he really look that much more youthful than I do? I don't think so. And he has all the advantages of extreme wealth, you know, things he can afford to do things I can't afford to do, like maybe have a laser on your skin or something like that. I don't do stuff like that. The only real special care I do for my skin and stuff is just some UV protection, you know, UV putting, you know, like lotion and moisturizer has UV on it. Yeah, our cats help keep us young too. They do act. They chill us out. They lower our blood pressure. They make us feel chill. Yeah, Joseph, they don't want to say that because they don't want to say they got their butt kicked by a 7-year-old, right? So, yeah, you look like you're about 30, right? Rather than 70. They're just trying to like lessen the pain of losing a game. So anyway, yeah, vegan zombie, right? I was thinking of that story, AJ. Yeah, your favorite was when someone told me, vegan zombie, his diet was so bad, he looked like he was in his 30s. And zombie said, thanks, I'm 44. I can see a hater going on there. Your vegan diet is so deficient and bad. You look like you're in your 30s. What do you think? Like that vegan zombie's like 22 or something? I know, he's in his 40s, you know? It's just ridiculous. And even let's say he did age poorly or something like that. So what? There's a lot of meat eaters that don't look great for their age. Why do vegans have to be perfect? You know, if a vegan happens to age not as well as some others would like, you know, they have every right to. We don't always have control over these things. Humans age. As long as you stay alive and don't die, we're gonna get older and older and older. That's how it works. It happens to vegans. It happens to meat eaters. But somehow vegans have to be immortal and have their youthful looks preserved forever or something like that. And apparently, too, when vegan restaurants go out of business, see, vegan restaurants, they suck. And like, no, meat restaurants go out of business all the time, too. Again, vegans have to be perfect. Even the restaurants are not allowed to go out of business, or else veganism debunked. Uncle, what full meal restaurants are there near you in Long Beach? What do you mean by full meal exactly, Uncle? And I'll try to answer your question. Robert Bird, you're in your 50s and don't look like most 50-year-olds. That's how I kind of put it too. I'm 56, and I'm just saying it very modestly. I think I don't look like most 56-year-olds. You know, I'm just putting it like that. You can read into that what you want. I don't think I look like most 56-year-olds. I know I don't see too many 56-year-olds grabbing the rim or dunking. No, I'm not dunking at 56. I haven't dunked at 56. Last time I dunked, I think I was 54 or 55. But yeah, I've been injured for a lot of this year. I'm just finally getting my hops back now. But it's a process, you know, it's something I have to work towards. What's that, Metalhead? You have vegans critical of you for eating Cracker Barrel breakfast. You get Impossible sausage, sourdough toast, and either tomato slices or some fruit. Well, that looks like vegan, right? Let's look at the definition once again. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation, particularly with regards to the foods you put into your body. And let's read those foods you ate again there. You had an Impossible sausage, yeah. No animal products. Where'd your thing go there? Sourdough toast, yeah, sourdough toast, vegan. And tomato or slice and some fruit. So if some vegan's going to give you crap for that, vegan metalhead, I apologize. In any movement, there's always going to be these hardcore extremist a-holes. I don't care what we're talking about. You could be in a group of like people who talk about guitars or microphones. There's always going to be some extremist a-holes. You can't use that brand, or you have to use this one, or whatever. And if you don't, you're a jerk, or you suck, or you're a poser. Yeah, I mean, it's true with veganism too. So I apologize that we have such a-holes in our folds, but it's true in anything. That's just human nature. Like 1 out of every 20 people is an a-hole, at least. I think 1 out of 10. So yeah, if you have 100 vegans, you're gonna have 10 a-holes. So it just scales up from there. So I apologize that there's some a-holes like that. I mean, what are they? These are what we call here on our Happy Healthy Vegan live streams. We call these people the level 5,000 vegans. They think they're so great and mighty and perfect, and if you don't do things their way, which there's no a requirement too. Again, let's look at the definition here. There's no definite part of the definition that says you have to be some kind of like perfect, perfect vegan as I am, and if not, you're an a-hole. Thank you, Jennifer Marie, Jen Marie. Thank you, you guys. Thank you so much for the super chat tips tonight. Much appreciated. And I want to thank you too for sending us the super chats through the link that we sent you, rather than YouTube, who takes I think 40% of them. If you click the link through our Streamlabs thing here, the only money that's taken out is PayPal's processing fee. There's no way to get around that. But yeah, Streamlabs doesn't take a penny. So thank you guys. Getting as much as possible of your donation to the artist, us, the artists. That's what we are. We're artists. The influencer. And I'm not an influencer, but my point is, yeah, I'm sure you don't want 40% of that to go to a giant corporation like Google. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Bear. Thank you, Jen Marie. Much appreciated. Seriously, I really can't express to you guys how much I appreciate your donations, helping us keep our vegan social media and activism happening here. Yeah, Joseph, level 5,000 vegans. That's what I was just talking about. They're level 5,000 vegans, giving our vegan metalhead crap because he ate a completely plant-based vegan meal at Cracker Barrel. I mean, what do these people say? Oh, why were they giving you crap, a metalhead, because you're eating at a restaurant that's not fully vegan? Well, these level 5,000 vegans were really supposed to believe they never go to a restaurant that doesn't have any animal products. Or how about supermarkets? They all have like vegan supermarkets. There's no animal products. I mean, it's hard to go into a business where there's food and never have animal products in there anywhere. It's just that level 5,000 nonsense. I can't think of any markets around here where I can go buy like my bananas and grains and it's just produce. There's none. Even our farmers market has animal products. Speaking of which, I got to get my ass down there. It's probably close to cherry season. Anyone see cherries yet at their markets? Like not like Southern Hemisphere, New Zealand cherries, but like California cherries. Let me know. Uncle, you rented your studio apartment for $1,500 per month, and that's cheaper than most towns you live. You live in a house, right? Or do you have a studio apartment that's part of your house that you rent? I'm just kind of confused there, Uncle. Was this something you did a long time ago? Just kind of curious. What's up with that? Yeah, Dr. Bear, I'm going to read your quote, your chat verbatim here. You can't wait to buy a house and not deal with some jerk landlord jacking up your rent 7 to 10% every year. I agree. As a homeowner, I can tell you that some of that jacking up is actually valid. A lot of them aren't. I see people on Reddit all the time. My landlord, I've been living here like 4 years, and this year he jacked it up like double or 50%. But that 7 to 10% can just be from like the increases in insurance and if there's any utilities that get paid automatic, like trash, water, stuff like that. Because I've been watching these things steadily rise over the past few years. And some of that's inflation too. Yeah, 10% seems a bit unreasonable. I think, you know, a 3 to 5% increase is a little more in line with how things have been inflating lately. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not justifying landlords jacking up. I think, you know, having a place to live is a right. You know, we shouldn't have people, especially corporations, like buying rental units and homes, taking them off the market for the most part and using it just so they can profit unfairly, like for so that, you know, they're jacking people's cost of living up so that a corporation can make more money. Yeah, that's that. I hear that, doctor. That's what sucks. Like, even though the cost of living goes up, inflation's jacking things up. Most people don't get a raise every year that's in line with these inflationary upward costs. You know, it's that's what's a big problem. Like, things are getting more expensive, yet our salaries and our incomes aren't going up along with them. I don't know how that's going to work out long term. Seriously, because you know, it's just raises aren't, like, you know, automatic like that. That's true, totally here, Robert Bird. I mean, yeah, new homers are getting priced out of the market in Australia. I thought they've been priced out. I watch on Home and Garden TV, House Hunters International, and boy, I really get excited when I see an Australia episode, particularly something along the East Coast, like, you know, the Gold Coast or Noosa. I get really excited. Then I see how expensive it is. Like, oh man, it's like worse than here probably. But yeah, it's true here. I mean, California is, yeah, a super high cost of living area. I mean, the whole state for the most part. You're at least you're getting some cost of living adjustments in your salary, Doctor Bear. Yeah, I know they're not keeping pace with the you know, with inflation, what you're paying for inflation, your cost of living as far as rents and stuff go. But yeah, I know people who aren't even getting any like annual cost of living adjustments. You know, so yeah, I don't know how this is going to work out long term. It's you know, it seems like a huge problem. I saw there's some push in our government and Congress to legislate from, they can't go back into the past, but from going forward, preventing corporations from buying up housing. So hopefully that will come to be at some point. But I don't know. Don't know if the cost of living ever goes down. That's pretty rare. I mean, markets go up and down, so the cost of like new homes go up and down all the time. But as far as like, if you're renting, yeah, very rarely like does your landlord say, you know, we're going to adjust the price down this year by 5%. You know, that doesn't happen. Yeah. Teachers union. Yeah, thank heavens you have a teachers union. So they have fought, they fight for you, so you can get some kind of salary increase every year. One that doesn't keep pace with inflation, but at least you're getting something, so that gap doesn't become, you know, just impossible, insurmountable over you know, years. Well, Jen, you're lucky to own your place given by family. Awesome. Yeah, I'm so grateful. I'm so lucky that I was able to look good on paper for a while back in like 2000, 2001. So I was able to get this place, you know, at a reasonable price back, you know, 24 years ago. So, you know, a lot of people think, wow, he's so, like, VD probably watches my videos. Oh, he's so entitled. He owns a house in California. Like, I bought this probably back when VD was in diapers, you know? Maybe she still wears diapers. I don't know what her business is, but I'm just saying, my point is, this decision to get this place was done when a lot of you guys might not even been born yet. You know, I was able to do some economic things then that you weren't able to do because you were either too young or not on this planet yet. So yeah, I'm lucky. I'm kind of locked into a property price that reflects the year 2000 more than 2024, or else I'd never be able to afford this place. Never. Well, maybe not never. If I ever get inheritance in the future, maybe, or something like that. I'm saying right now, I wouldn't be able to afford this. Let's see, what else you guys talking about there? Let's see, Chris, you got lucky and locked in during the pandemic. In 2020, yeah, things have gotten worse then. Inflation, property, real estate has gone up a lot since then. I tell you, imagine in 4 years, a lot has changed. But for me, 24 years, I feel like I've hit the jackpot or the lotto or something like that. I'm really lucky. I tell you, I'm locked into like the year 2000 or 2001. No, it's not paid off yet, Uncle. I'm in the single digits as far as years go, but those are 30-year mortgages, and refinance a couple times. I'm in the single digit years now. Ah, Bob Hill, you live in Texas then. I've always wondered where you're from. That gives some clues there. Is that where you're from, Bob? No, I'm not bagging. I'm just curious. Is that where you're from? You don't have to answer that if you want to remain more like private or something. Totally cool. I get it. Yeah, my property taxes are relatively the same, Hector. Yeah, they are adjusted every year by like inflation, so they have gone up, but they only can go up like 3% based upon the original starting value from 2001. So yeah, I still have a very reasonable property tax. Let's see, Allison. Ryan, my grandparents did the same with the house you grew up and currently live in. What, they got it a long time ago? Is that what you're saying? And just you're locked in an old price from like decades ago, like I am. But I feel for you guys, especially like millennial age people who haven't had like a good opportunity, a lot of you guys, to buy a house yet because you haven't had as many years to accumulate wealth, store it up, and real estate prices have gotten so out of hand, just crazy high. It's I see a lot of millennials on Reddit saying that they sadly come to the realization that they're never going to own a house given how things are, unless something radically changes sometime. But yeah, don't give up. I mean, just keep saving money away. Hopefully, you can have compound interest work for you rather than against you. Like with inflation compounding, you can stash some money away, have it compound over 5 years, 10 years, and maybe get a house. Because I'm like, I'm 56 now, and I bought this 24 years ago, so I was in my early 30s, so it's not too late. You can totally do it. Maybe you can get in your 40s. Oh, inflation. Don't even get into economic theory here. I can't. I don't think I could give any sort of like eloquent answer that as to why things inflate, why inflation exists in economics. That's beyond my scope there. Crystal, thanks for sharing. You're a millennial and lived in a trailer for a long time to save for a house. Yeah, if you can do something like that where you can get your cost of living low for a while and save up some money, again, maybe put it in a high interest, high yield savings account. You get over 5% right now because I have a couple right now. You can put it in like a safe like investment, like say the S&P 500 index fund, something like that. Get maybe 10% compound over the year, but it can go down in a year or two. So there's nothing safe. But yeah, over time, if you have like a 5-10 year horizon, investing like that in equities, can help you out. But if you need the money like in a year or two, it's a risk. You might have less. But yeah, it's good for more long term, 5-year plus type of planning. Anyway, let's get back to everything else here. It's not supposed to be a finance podcast or anything like that. Hey, David's vegan. Hello, Ryan. Just tuning in. Awesome. Glad to catch us live. Awesome, David. Hope all is well with me and Angie. Yeah, not so bad. Doing all right. Bob Hill, yeah, you're blaming it on our government. Cost of living is increasing so fast. Massive government money printing has been a disaster. Well, it's funny how I assume you're talking about like our government, but I think all those handouts came during the Trump years, right, when we got all the COVID relief and stuff. But the thing is, inflation is happening and has been happening on an international level. So unless all the governments were in cahoots and were printing money together, it's I don't think it's correct or valid to blame one government for giving a little bit of a handout for like 1 year, and that caused global inflation or something like that. It's a global problem, and it's short-sighted to say, oh, it's because of Trump or Biden or something like that. I'm not going to blame it on Trump because that's wrong. I know it's just not Trump's fault. It's not Biden's fault. And AJ, I'm with you on this one. Not all inflation, but a significant part of inflation is not due to governments, but due to greed. Such as, like, say, like greed of corporations, just be able to raise their prices because they can, not because they're losing money. Like here in California, I'm glad I live in Southern California right now, because in Northern California, all our friends up in Central and Northern California are getting screwed in the behind from their utility company, Pacific Gas and Electric. They pay the highest utilities in the utility rates in the United States, except for Hawaii, which they have to do their own thing. They're an island; they can't connect on a grid. They pay the highest rates, and there's no reason to. It's just because it's just this greedy corporation. They pay their CEO. I forgot what it was, like $40 or $50 million a year. I mean, utilities in some places here in California and across the country are ran by like local municipalities where they don't have a $50 million a year CEO and all these dumb and they pay dividends to their shareholders. You can buy shares of Pacific Gas and Electric, PG&E, and get dividends courtesy of all the Northern California and Central California homeowners and renters who are paying the highest rates on the mainland. It's a greedy move. I agree with you, Bob. That is a greedy move. They don't have to have such high rates. They don't have to pay a CEO $40 million. It should be a publicly owned utility. There's no reason why people are getting dividends. People that live in Texas, like you, Bob, getting dividends because people in California are getting screwed by a Wall Street corporation who has like pretty much they have a free like carte blanche to charge whatever rates they want. So anyway, we don't want to make this about economics and stuff, but let's move on. But that's something that's giving me pause about moving to Northern California. I hope they get the situation under control before I ever go up there, because people are pissed. People want to just reelect all these new, get rid of the people that are in there now. Let the system develop. Okay, Carlene, for you too. Yes, your two major supermarket chains are price gouging big time here in Australia since COVID. Yeah, so a lot of it is due to greed. I'm not an economist. I did take micro and macroeconomics back in like the 80s in college, but none of that knowledge is stuck or anything like that. But I know there are many factors that cause inflation, and one of them has been, I'm sure, greed. Oh, you don't know, Bob. You have no clue what's happening here. We could unelect the people who are in charge of the California Public Utilities Commission and actually put people in place there who actually are not in the pockets of the utility companies and will serve the interests of our citizens here in California, rather than serve the interests of Pacific Gas and Electric and other utility companies. So things can happen. We're a democracy. We'll kick the people out. And trust me, people are so pissed right now. Something's going to happen. The people, this can't go on. It doesn't only just affect people who live in homes. These high utility costs are causing restaurants to have even harder time. They're already dealing with all sorts of inflationary pressures, everything from cost of goods to paying employees. Now the utilities have gone up 30%. That's what they've gone up over the past year, 30%. Now, so it's that much harder for restaurants to stay in business. So what do they have to do? They have to raise their prices on their food, and that causes more inflation for people who eat there. Something's going to go wrong, and I see a movement to unelect these people and put in people who are not crooks in the hands of greedy corporations that don't care about the people they're serving. They just care about their bottom line, paying their CEO $40 million and giving dividends to all their shareholders. They don't care about their customers' 30% price increases. So a lot of you guys, I'm saying that could be some of the reasons why you got some, most of you guys pay your electricity on your own who rent. But if your electricity is included in your rent, this is a huge part of what's could be an increase for you, especially if you live in California. Johnny Pickles, are you banned? I don't know. Should you be banned, Johnny Pickles? Do you have a point you would like to make about veganism, Johnny Pickles? If so, now would be a great time to do it. If you don't have a point about veganism you'd like to make, come back later. If you can have a whole week to think about something brilliant you want to say about veganism, how you dislike veganism, how you think veganism sucks, but you need to bring an example. You need to have an argument or some example. So think of something, Johnny Pickles. Yeah, Peter, if someone is bad, meaning if they are being, let's show the rules to Johnny Pickles and anyone else who might not be familiar with what we expect here in our live chat. It's nothing too hardcore. If you can't abide, if it's so hard for you to not be racist or sexist or do personal attacks or harassment, you really have to restrain yourself. You shouldn't be here. This is not the live stream for you. But yes, we ask, just basically be a civil person, the kind of person that's not going to get you fired from your job or kicked out of school or something like that. Just be a decent human. The bar is set pretty damn low. So if you can do that, you should be able to hang out with us for a little bit at least. Well, Milo, what's this about animal sacrifice? Who's doing animal sacrifice? Yeah, Uncle, another good rules. Be kind, but even that's too much to ask for from a lot of these people. It's really just be civil, or don't be an a-hole. It's really, again, the bar is really low. Being kind, that's a higher bar there, Uncle. But yeah, I would appreciate, that would be cool if these people could be kind. But if they can't, I would accept, just be civil. Yeah, and Fritz, play nice in the sandbox, and this is our sandbox here. Yeah, a drive-by ding. Hi, I accidentally showed the definition of veganism there. So, let's see. Let's move on to some vegan stuff here. Enough of me getting ranting about inflation and problems related to inflation. Travis, you poop in the sandbox. That's okay, as long as it's Travis. We'll let Travis poop here, but he has the privilege of pooping in the sandbox because he's cool. We'll let you poop in the sandbox, Travis. Anyone else, though, especially if I don't know you, don't poop in the sandbox, please. Hey, Hector, thanks for the super chat tip there, Hector. I haven't been to Gilroy, or through Gilroy is a town in upper part of Central California. Near Salinas, on the way to like Monterey. Anyway, it's the garlic capital of California. I think they call themselves the garlic capital of the world, and it has a very fragrant aroma when you drive through some parts of Gilroy because of all the garlic harvesting or storage or whatever. Anyway, I know Casa de Fruta. I know they have a lot of fruit stands, and that's where I bought a lot of cherries, like on these little fruit stands along the side of the road. Some of the most delicious California cherries come from that part of California. I don't remember the names of any off the top of my head. Is that what Casa de Fruta is? But thank you, Hector Reason 86 for your super chat tip there. And but yeah, I've stopped at many fruit stands. None I know by name, but I've never eaten at a restaurant. So I don't know if Casa de Fruta is a restaurant, but I've never stopped to eat at a restaurant in Gilroy. Let's see, Dr. Bear is curious about what I think about Freeganism. Also, could you please begin by looking up the definition? Why don't you do that for me, Dr. Bear? I'm kind of busy right now, but if you can find me what you think is a reasonable definition of Freeganism, we can discuss that. But yeah, I trust you. I know you'll find a reasonable definition. So bring us a reasonable definition here, and We can discuss it. I'll even put it on the wall. I won't put your name next to it. I'll just put your definition of freeganism up on the poop wall, and so we can all look at it and see what we think about it. Because I've never really learned what freeganism is. I think different people might have different understandings, but like I said, if you could find some generally accepted definition, we'll talk about it. But if it involves eating food out of a trash can or dumpster, that's not for me. Let's see, what's that? Dr. Bear talking to AJ. Dr. Bear, definitely wouldn't eat meat out of a dumpster. Yeah, I'm with you there. Unless you were like starving to death or something like that. But yeah, the moral issues regarding that seem a little bit different, since it was thrown away in a trash can or something like that. But yeah, for me, it would be like a survival situation, I imagine. Even then, I'm not sure. I'm just thinking, I'm open to the possibility if I were like dying, if I were homeless or something like that, I might do something like that. But I don't know for sure. I'd have to be in this survival, starving situation to really know for sure what I'd really do. I've never been in a situation like that. Knock on wood. Thank you. But who knows? Peter, you posted the definition. Here it is again. Yeah, post it again, Peter. I'm scrolling up. Peter, let's see. I'm not seeing it, Peter. I scrolled up quite a way. So if you could post, if either of you guys could paste it again. Oh, on Wikipedia. Do you have something shorter than a Wikipedia page, Peter? Like just a definition. Okay, you just paste it in here and I'll just put it up on the poop wall. That's what I'm hoping. So if you could do that for me, just filter out like the definition part of it. Carlene wants to know, what's my opinion on different groups such as Hare Krishnas? They're part of the reason why I ended up discovering vegetarianism back in the 1980s. Ananda Margas, I don't know much about them. I don't know anything about them. Not eating garlic and onions because they believe the spiritual vibration of those foods is heavy and not good. Yeah, I know in a lot of Eastern religions, Eastern philosophies, there's specific reasons why they avoid onions and garlic. They're not my reasons. I don't feel like my spirituality is different or something like that, or spiritual vibration. That's not part of my decision making as to why I don't like onions and garlic. I've been very honest and open why I don't like those foods. It's because I like some onions. Don't get me wrong, there's some onions, but those white onions. I like red onions, but these like just those clear white onions, they give me gnarly breath. If I go to like a sandwich place and eat a sandwich with onions, you can smell my mouth from literally, I'm not kidding, from across the room. It's that hardcore. And garlic, yeah, I'll smell like garlic for 2+ days if I eat garlic, so I don't like my smell being hijacked. Angie doesn't like it when I smell like garlic, and to be honest, I don't really get turned on when I smell her if she smells like garlic either. So it's for those kinds of reasons. We just prefer to smell like ourselves, I guess we're kind of hypersensitive to smells, I think, more so than an average person, at least. Maybe not hypersensitive, but we are quite aware of smells. So if we smell garlic on ourselves or on our fellow loved ones, we're not stoked about that. So that's our reasoning there. It's a purely aesthetic kind of thing, not a spiritual thing. Okay, Dr. Bear has a definition here. Okay, so Dr. Bear, this is what this is for Freegan. I'm going to put it on the poop wall here. This is for Freegan. Is that what you're saying, Dr. Bear? So I'll write that down because, let's see. All right, let me get rid of the rules, get the poop wall up. All right, here we go. I didn't copy it all because I'm stupid. Let me do it again. Oh, where'd it go? Is Dr. Bear that sent it, right? Yikes, I lost it. Okay, I didn't get the last sentence. Okay. Let me do it one more time here. Your cult leader will get it right here. I'm sorry. All right. All right, do we see it? Here we go. And this is for Freeganism, I assume. So I'll put that up here too, so we know, everyone knows what we're talking about here. Freeganism. All right, so let's have a look-see here. Did I get that right, everyone? Is this kind of what we have here? Hare Krishnas eat dairy. Yeah, Mile. Yeah, that's what I was introduced to back in the 1980s, late 1980s, was vegetarianism by the Hare Krishnas. Yeah, I mean, yeah, vegan was really weird back then. Not weird, but just not, in 1987 or whenever I first discovered vegetarianism, I'd never even heard of the word vegan. And I don't know how I would have done that. There was no support or anything like that back then. Actually, let me fix something right here real quick. So yeah, Hare Krishnas are vegetarian. However, at the Venice Beach Hare Krishna temple here in LA, I haven't been in like 7 years, maybe 6 years, but for their buffet, they do have, you can have it all vegan. They have their vegetarian stuff, then they have their vegan rices, their vegan dishes too. So you, at many Hare Krishna restaurants, I'm thinking, you know, I don't think the LA one's a weird one. You could probably find vegan stuff there too. But yeah, you can veganize a lot of dishes, exactly. Let me read Hector's question here. Thanks for the super chat. We'll get back to the Freeganism. I'll put it back up in a second, guys. Let's see. Hector, thanks for the super chat. Hector, being vegan, don't you ever think you're missing out not trying many dishes in the world? Have you ever actually eaten meat through my vegan journey? No, we eat foods of all cultures. What are you talking about? I mean, I've had Chinese vegan stuff, Japanese vegan, Korean, Mexican, Central American. What else? What else have I had? Just off the top of my head, Indian, Thai. I've had more. I've had foods from around the world veganized. You know, really good ones too. So I don't think I'm missing anything. I eat a wide range of different kinds of foods there that their great chefs have figured out how to respect their culture's flavors while preparing them in a way that doesn't involve animal cruelty and exploitation. It's the best of all worlds. I mean, you gotta eat some of these awesome vegan tacos that we have here in Southern California. They're amazing. I remember what they're like before I was vegan. I'd go to Mexico and eat all these great tacos, when I wasn't vegan. I eat them now vegan here in California. They're great. They taste exactly the same, except there's no cruelty and exploitation. So no, I don't think we're missing anything.
Thanks for the tip.
As far as shorting ourselves, as far as exposing ourselves to all these great foods from around the world. But I appreciate your question there. All right, let's look at the definition of Freeganism that Dr. Bear brought to us here. Let's see. The practice of taking and using food or other items that other people, shops, or organizations have thrown away so that they are not wasted. Okay, what do I think about that? If someone wants to do that, yeah, great, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm not going to make, if I found some vegan was doing this, is that what you want to know? Like, if a vegan were doing this, would I make a video about him? No, I wouldn't do that, Is this something I would recommend to people? I don't think so, because I wouldn't want to do this myself. But if you find yourself in a situation in life where money's hard, you got laid off, or whatever, you're in financial straits and you feel like you want to risk your health and your safety by eating discarded food, and some of it's fresh. I understand that. Not all discarded food is horrible and gross and disgusting, but some of it can be dirty and rotten, and there's a reason why it was thrown out. So yeah, if you're going to do that and you're willing to take on the risk, that's you. But I hope to not have to resort to something like this. This is what I see it as. It's like a last resort or something like that. So, and I hope to not have to ever be in a situation like that. For me, that's more of a survival situation thing. Yeah, back to the earlier question there, AJ. Yeah, we have Yeah, hundreds of thousands of types of plant foods. We're not missing out on anything. In fact, it's easy to argue that as vegans, we probably eat more individual food types, individual plants than meat eaters eat, because they eat usually a smaller range of plants, and they eat they jump around between cows, pigs, and chickens typically, right? I mean, how diverse is 3 or 4 animals, right? But yeah, food waste is sad. But if you want to, try to take advantage of food waste and not have to pay for foods, and if that's what you do, and I feel sorry, but if that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. Let's see, Peter. But Ryan, Freeganism isn't just about being poor. I didn't say you have to be poor. It's just something I see. Like, if you're really poor, this would be an option, a viable option for you. We're saying, Peter, some people don't want to consume extra products when there's lots of around products. Cool. That's what they believe in. If that's what their philosophy in life is, to eat as few foods that were purchased firsthand. They want to consume excess thrown away food. That's cool. That's a different philosophy. Again, I'm into veganism. I'm not trying to minimize my consumption of purchased foods and maximize my intake of discarded foods. That's not what veganism. That's something else. That's freeganism. If someone's into freeganism or whatever it's called, totally cool, awesome. I have no desire to do that. I'm totally happy with this philosophy here, a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude as far as possible and practicable all forms of cruelty and exploitation of animals for food, clothing, or any purpose. It doesn't say you have to dumpster dive or eat discarded food, but if someone wants to not really abide by this, more so than abide by the freeganism definition, that's similar, but it's different. You see what I'm saying? It's similar, but different. If they want to do that, that's cool. That's not me. They do they themselves. I do me. And unless I have to, I'm not going to eat stuff out of a dumpster. That's my preference. Maybe one day I'll be more down and out and I have to, but I don't want to right now. Oh, okay. Dr. Bear, the question was whether freeganism is vegan, even if they eat animal products. I think yes, because they're not contributing to the demand, and they're not directly contributing to the cruelty and exploitation. I see what you're saying. I think technically, let's look at it again. The practice of taking, using food or other items that other people, shops, or organizations have thrown. Yeah, I mean, I guess technically that's just like the idea of a vegan eating roadkill or something like that. I mean, if that's what you want to do, cool. I mean, I'm not going to make a video coming out and saying person X is a bad vegan or a fake vegan because they're not doing this, they're doing this instead. This is on a gray area for me. I think by definition, it might be vegan if you're eating animal products that were roadkill or thrown out. I think. I don't know. Don't hold me to this. Don't make a video saying, oh, Ryan says this. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I'd have to think about it more deeply to give you my definitive position statement on this or something like that. But I think it might be, but yeah, I don't know for sure. Yeah, Hector, with inflation going on, you might be a freakin' sometime. Who knows? Well, if Bob says it's vegan, if Bob says roadkill is vegan, awesome. That settles it then. Bob is the definitive point of view on this one. Let's see. Travis says, if it's okay to eat non-vegan stuff out of a dumpster, would it be fine for a friend to give you non-vegan food? Oh, I see what you're saying, Travis. Yeah, let's. Where do we draw the line? That's a great point, sir. I said I need to think this through more. I can't say just reading something and thinking through it in for 10 seconds. I have thought it through from all angles. Travis points out, yeah, what if you're at you're hanging out with your friends, so you're at your friend's house and they just finished their. They're trying to finish their hamburger and they can't. They're full. They're totally full. And I can't eat. And they have another half of the hamburger left. Then they said, well, I'm going to throw this into the trash. Well, would it be morally right? Would it be vegan for a vegan to say, don't put it in the trash? I'll eat that before you throw it away. See, that's kind of like, yeah, that seems a little less vegan to me than finding something in a dumpster. But philosophically or conceptually, is there really anything much different between the two scenarios, finding something in a dumpster versus a friend about to throw half of their burger away and you say, give it to me before you chuck it in the garbage? I'm not so sure now. Yeah, good point there, Travis. Thanks for thinking of it in that way. Where is the line drawn exactly? Where do we draw that line where, yeah, eating meat is always wrong or eating meat is okay maybe, and if your friend is going to throw the burger away, where is that line drawn? Not sure. Not sure at all. It's like a backdoor reason. Well, I can eat meat if my friend's about to get rid of it or something like that. That's not the same as dumpster diving. But again, conceptually, they're not much different. Yeah, I just saw a couple super chat tips there. Let's see. Hardly Tin Man Adonis. Let me read. Thank you guys. Thank you for your super chat tip there, Tin Man. Interesting. This guy that volunteered Food Not Bombs, which is they give food away to homeless people and vegan food. So it shows you it can be done. Told you that he only consumes animal products that are given to him. Nothing he spends his money on. Interesting, huh? That's all I can say is interesting about that. Here's my take on it on a personal level. I'm not saying everyone has to follow what I do, but for me, I've told you many times, for me, I don't consider meat as being food. I consider meat like poop. If I'm walking on the sidewalk and I see some dog poop that an inconsiderate pet owner left there, I'm grossed out. I want to avoid it. I don't want to step on the poop. I don't want to touch it, let alone lick it and put it in my mouth. That's disgusting. And likewise, if I'm going past a restaurant, like jogging or walking slowly, and I smell steak and I walk past their tables because they're eating out on the sidewalk and I see a big juicy steak or something like that, I'm repulsed. I don't say, ooh, man, what if they don't finish that? Maybe I can nibble a bite or two if they're going to throw it away. No, I'm disgusted. I have the same reaction, the same emotional, physical reaction to seeing and smelling meat as I do to seeing and smelling poop. So, to me, it's a no-go. Like, again, if I was about to die, I'm homeless, yeah, I might change it up there just because I don't want to die probably. But barring a situation like that, it's a life and death survival situation, no, I don't think I could bring myself to intentionally eat something that's like poop to me. It's just gross. Bob, I didn't say it smelled like poop. I didn't say the aroma of poop is identical to the aroma of steak. I have the same reaction. When I smell meat, when I see meat, I smell it. I'm grossed out. I don't sit there and take a breath. Man, that ribeye smells so good. I can't wait to dig into that sometime in the future. No, gross. It's gross. Like, oh, good. I want to vomit just thinking about it right now. The same thing with poop. If I smell some poop, I don't sit there, man, I want to eat some of that. Same thing. It's the same reaction. Identical reaction. I didn't say they smell the same. Bob. What's my thoughts on Impossible Burgers, Hector? Well, I rarely eat them. I can say for a fact, we have never gone to the store or any market of any kind and handed over money or made a credit card purchase to bring Impossible Burgers and cook them up here. That said, we'll get them sometimes when we go out. So I'm not sure how processed they are, how much salt, but if it's something you're eating one time, it's like anything. If you go to eat outside your house, if you want to eat your vegan food, whatever you're trying to eat, it's probably not going to be as healthy. Like, say we've made a stir fry, Chinese or an Asian stir fry for lunch today. It was super healthy, no salt or anything like that. However, I know for a fact if I went to one of our local vegan, Chinese, or any Asian restaurant here, it's going to have way more salt and other things that aren't great for us. And and they don't put Impossible Burgers in there. See what I'm saying? So I wouldn't hold Impossible Burgers to this unreasonable standard. I'm just saying when you go out to a restaurant, you're not going to get the same healthy food prep that you can do in your house, especially if you follow how we make stuff in the Happy Holly Vegan Cookbook. My point is, I'll eat food like that so rarely that if I have an occasional non-homemade stir fry from a Chinese vegan restaurant, or if I have an Impossible Burger when I go to Veggie Grill or something like that, I don't think it's gonna damage me. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to make me die or something like that. It's not going to give me heart disease or diabetes or something like that, because it's the infrequency. I don't do this to eat those things that often. We can't afford to. We're not that rich. We cook most of our foods here. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about that unless you have a need. Like say your doctor told you've had heart attacks, you're about to have one, your readings are horrible, and you're getting some stern warnings about to avoid all foods like that at all times. Follow your doctor's advice. But I think 99.9% of us aren't on like death's door like that, and probably don't need to be so strict. My point is, as long as you're not doing it all the time, and I think most of us can't because we're not like rich Bill Gates types, why did I bring up Bill Gates? I didn't mean to bring him up. I don't want to bring up all the baggage that comes. I'm just saying, as long as you don't eat it all the time, you're probably going to be okay. But good question there. Yeah, good point, Nikki. Those Dr. Prager burgers are fine. Yeah, there's other brands too, like God, what's the other brand? So this black bean patty I like. It's cheaper, tastier, less stuff in it. But yeah, if I have to eat an Impossible Burger when I go to Disneyland, I don't care. It's just once in a while. Yeah, Sam, I'm kind of like that too. Eating meat, it's like human flesh, right? Yeah, people can categorize them differently. That's another reason why I wouldn't want to be a freegan, just because I'm not attracted to meat for so many reasons. Yeah. VLAM, I have no idea what the stance with Impossible as far as testing on animals. I don't understand. The way I understand the situation, VLAM, is I don't see why they would need to do further testing unless they were introducing new products. The reason why Impossible had to do the testing on animals way back, many years back, is because the FDA had never seen this genetically modified ingredient in there that produced heme iron. Like heme iron before then was only found in animal products, and all our plants had non-heme iron. But Impossible for some reason wanted to put heme iron, a plant-based heme iron, in their products. And the FDA, rightly so, whenever they see a new ingredient that's not been part of our food system, they'll want some tests to make sure that it's not going to kill people. So they did animal testing because of that unique situation many years back. But I'd be surprised if they have to keep doing the tests. It would be pointless. Like, yeah, we proved it 7 years ago. Why do we need to prove it again? I'd have to do some more research, but just conceptually, it doesn't ring, I don't think they would have to. Just there must be some, if so, there'd be some other weird reason I'm not aware of. Okay, so anyway, yeah, you guys are back. I'm saying the test because of the heme iron, the plant-based heme iron, which had never been seen on this planet before. Yeah, the FDA would not improve Impossible because of this never seen before plant-based heme iron. So that's why the tests were required. But it's not like something they have to keep doing. I'd be surprised if they have to keep testing it all the time. They proved it was safe. The animals didn't die or show signs that they're going to die because of the plant-based heme iron. Hector, what's my view on Gary Yourofsky? I really don't think much about Gary Yourofsky. I mean, that greatest speech ever. I don't think I ever sat through and watched the whole thing. I maybe watched 5-10 minutes, but I go, this is cool. I already know this stuff. It's cool. If it gets people to think about veganism, awesome. I can't say anything about him as a person. I've never met him and never had any interaction with him, even no emails or even commenting or anything like that. So I don't know anything about Gary Yourofsky. So so I can't really give you much of an opinion other than I think his greatest speech ever is cool. Gets people to start thinking about veganism. Awesome. Thinking about it in a positive way, not like a VD kind of way or something. Let's see. Live Mercifully. Hey, how's it going there? Ryan, did I see Bite Size Vegan's latest video? I'm glad she's back. Emily, is that her name? I haven't thought about her much lately, but yeah, I'm curious to hear if you agree with it, how we approach non-vegans. I'd like to see it because I have some very strong thoughts about how we approach non-vegans. I know there's a certain group out there, like the level 5,000 vegans, that think if someone's not a vegan, it gives them the justification to be an a-hole to that person and shame them and say they're bad. And all that's going to do is cause people to, hey, these vegans are crazy. I don't want to be part of that cult. It's a crazy cult. They shame you and say you're bad and if you're not one of them. You know, I think a lot of vegans forget that at one point they weren't vegan, you know, so therefore they were a-holes and bad people. So I think we have to have an understanding where people are at. Not all of us are vegan at the same time. We're trying to get more people vegan. And I think if you're going to shame, I don't know if that's what she's talking about. My whole point is that if we're going to shame non-vegans and just fight them, they're not going to go vegan. They're going to dig in, entrench themselves, just say they're going to put up all their barriers as far as thinking goes and just get all defensive and not listen to a damn thing you're saying because you're being an a-hole to them. So I'm totally against that level 5,000 shaming all non-vegans bullcrap. I think it's counterproductive. If your goal is truly to create a more vegan world, as I saw in the comments there, to make a more vegan world, the only way to do that, I should say the best way to do that, is to not be an a-hole, to have people interact with you in a positive way. Have them leave the interaction, the conversation, with a positive memory, like, wow, yeah, I learned a lot. I didn't realize X, Y, and Z, what the vegan said there. And wow, it gives me a lot to think about rather than, well, that guy was a dick. I'm never going to go vegan. I'm going to go eat a bunch of burgers now just to piss him off. That's counterproductive. Those level 5,000 vegans that shame people like that are selfish. I'm going to say it. They're selfish. They're thinking about them. Again, veganism is not about you. It's not about me. It's about the animals. And if your true goal is to have animals not be slaughtered and have more people not eat animals, you don't want to be a dick to these people. You want to be compassionate to them and teach them and educate them and point out misinformation they might believe. But don't shame them, or else you're going to actually make a non-vegan for life possibly, or make it a hell of a lot harder for me when they come talking to me. A reasonable vegan cult leader. Yeah, Fritz, talking down to people isn't productive. But yeah, these people who talk down to people are selfish. I'm going to say it right now, you're selfish. If you're shaming people, being a dick to them, you're not thinking about the animals. You're thinking about yourself, because they're not going to all of a sudden be a vegan. You've made a non-vegan for life, and that's totally not the goal of veganism. You want more people to be vegan. Anyway. Yeah, Carlin, yes, lead by example, education, not violence, and not being an a-hole. Wow, David. David's vegan. You saw Gary when you were a kid. Awesome. What do I think, says M. Ryder, about having a girlfriend? I like having a girlfriend, a wife actually. That's not vegan. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, I can't give you my perspective on that because Angie and I have been vegan the whole we've been vegan the whole time, the same time basically. I can think like a thought experiment, think theoretically or something. And I could say right now, I would have a hard time, if I were single, to have a girlfriend, date someone who wasn't vegan. I can't imagine going on a date to a restaurant and she's eating a steak or something and I'm grossed out. I want to vomit when I see it, because I was talking about that earlier. When I see steak, I just grossed out thinking about it. Just the thought of it makes me want to gag. But that'd be tough. I don't know. I mean, hopefully that would never happen, in the sense that in this thought experiment, she would understand where I'm at, and she could go to a vegan restaurant because she can eat plants, right? A non-vegan can still eat plants, It's not like they gag. Ooh, there's some mashed potatoes. I'm gonna vomit. Ooh, there's some rice and beans. Ooh, I'm gonna gag. It's not like that. So they could always eat the plants. Hopefully they'd understand that. So maybe it can work from there. But Angie pretty much converted me. She was vegetarian when I met her. And like I said, I was vegetarian interested in the 80s, but it didn't last because I just wasn't equipped. I didn't have the information, knowledge, resources that I have now. So when she met me, she filed that away. Oh, he's not vegetarian, but he liked being vegetarian. Well, I'm vegetarian. I'm just going to make all the food, and therefore he'll be vegetarian. It's kind of started like that. Whoa, Peter, your sister is having a baby, so you're going to have another niece or nephew. Awesome. It's cool being an uncle, isn't it? I love all my little nieces and nephews. Maybe I'll make one vegan one day. I'm trying. Uncle, I'm not sure what's for dinner tonight. I tell you, we had a stir fry about an hour and a half before this live stream. So I'm not sure. Don't know yet. And we had tofu tonight. For all you people who hate tofu or think tofu is going to kill us and all, you know, it's some high protein tofu in that stir fry. Yeah, Angie does. Yeah, she mentioned maybe she'd make us a soup or something. Maybe we'll go get us some Panda Express. We had some good sales today with our music. So yeah, maybe we'll fund a Panda Express. And you guys gave us a lot of super chat tips too. So maybe we haven't had that in maybe a month or so. Maybe Panda Express. Who knows? It's been a while. I probably have some rewards to cash in. Maybe I can get a free bowl or something like that. The Clippers playing tonight. Jeffrey, isn't Kawhi Leonard out and injured? That's going to be tough. Peter, did my tofu have a gluten brown sauce on it? No, there was no sauce. Yeah, the Rick Rubin special. I wish Angie would make us the Rick Rubin special, but that's just, she makes that as a joke because it's so basic and boring. The one she made us is so much more elaborate and cool with all these like vegetables and mushrooms on it. It's, you know, it's way more healthy and, you know, just better than some tofu with some brown sauce on it, which I tell you is kind of sad. I mean, it's fine. I like the Rick Rubin special, but it's kind of like lowbrow or something in this house. Jen, I'm not sure if we're having Panda. I'm going, it's an option. Yeah, AJ, I've just been doing a lot more music related stuff for the past year or so. You know, that's one thing that's been keeping me quite busy. So yeah, maybe that's one reason why I can only make like one video and one live stream a week typically. But yeah, thanks. Yeah, today was a good day. And it's still a good day. David's Vegan says, so grateful for you like-minded people. Hey, you found okay, I'm going to be a little conceited here. I don't think you can find just a nicer, more friendly and you know, just rational, reasonable bunch of vegans as far as what we've created here in this live stream. I take pride in that. I've been carefully crafting this out for years. I don't make it to the chat enough, but I listen just about every live stream, even though it's just pre-recorded. We appreciate it. Hey, I appreciate you being able to just listen to it after the fact if you can't be here with us live. I know this time doesn't work out for everyone. It's just what I happen to settle on, and it's, you know, just been working for me. And I understand, yeah, it doesn't work for everyone. So if you can't be here, you can be here like a little bit later or so. Well, Peter, going camping on an island that has a food truck? That sounds awesome. I wish when I went camping on an island here, it had a food truck. Oh, you're welcome, Jen Marie. Thank you. Yeah, this is a wonderful community. And yeah. Let's see. What's that, Carlene? Ryan, do you and Angie like eating tempeh as well as tofu? I remember in my earlier vegan years, we would get tempeh like at restaurants sometimes. Again, we didn't go all the time. We're not rich or anything like that. But I haven't had tempeh in a while. I like tempeh. I can't say I love it. When I see it on menu, ooh, I got to get the tempeh. But it's something I enjoy. I haven't had it in a while. But yeah, we'll have tofu quite often. You know, maybe like I'd say like once a week, twice a week, something like that now. Like we'll often have it like once in the morning, like we'll make a tofu scramble one morning, and then some other day in the week we'll have a tofu stir fry. So yeah, maybe once or twice a week, something like that. Yeah, Robert. Yeah, we try to be chill here. We're not level 5,000 vegan a-holes that shame people and think we're God's gift to the planet and we're so awesome. And if you're not like us, you suck. And we're going to let you know that. No, we're just reasonable people trying our best here to spread veganism to as many people as possible in a way that people will actually listen to us and not shut their minds off because we're being jerks to them. Okay, cool, Peter. I'll check out your Instagram. I'll just click on your name there when from my inbox. I'll see this food truck that you're going to. Sounds fun. Yeah, VLAN, we like the firm tofu as well. I think we get like the very firm tofu. I think it's often called the high protein tofu as well. That's what Angie likes as far as cooking. I think she likes the texture of it. I don't think she's buying it because it's high protein. It just happens to be a high protein tofu. M. Ryder, what do I think of Beyond Beef and all those meat substitute meats? Well, there's all different kinds. There's ones that are fully like, not even high tech, like a black bean patty, old school. You can get those at the market still too. But as far as those high tech ones you're talking about, yeah, they're fine. I don't think I've bought a Beyond Burger and brought it into the house to cook it in like maybe 5-6 years. And I've never bought an Impossible Burger and brought it to the house to cook it. I'll eat them on occasion when away from home and there isn't really any other option. Like say when we go to Disneyland with our annual pass, I guess Disney seems to have a contract with Impossible, so there's often Impossible sausage on the pizza or Impossible meat of some kind in whatever food we're getting there. So yeah, I'll eat it then. I don't care. I do care, but I'm not worried about dying. And we already talked about the ethical implications of Impossible Burgers. I won't reiterate that again. But yeah, I'll have them on occasion. But those are not foods that we eat on the reg here because we just simply don't buy them and cook them at home. And as I said, we're not rich. We don't go out and eat all that often. We eat like 95% of our meals right here, cook them, make them ourselves. That sounds, Peter, going camping with a bunch of people. Are they all vegans? Yeah, Andy, we love ourselves a tofu scramble too. And so does Live Mercifully. You love tofu scramble too, but now you're practically addicted to Just Egg. Yeah, we'll get that sometimes too. We used to buy it more actually, like say maybe a year ago. Like this past year, it's gotten more expensive again. You think it would get cheaper over time, which it has done, but it's kind of gone back up to like prices from like many years ago when it was newer. But anyway, yeah, we'll get Just Egg sometime and make a Just Egg scramble sometimes too. Yeah, I like that too. I wish it were cheaper. I'd probably get it a little more often. Yeah, it's good and very easy to prepare. Yeah, Muthu Lion, how you doing? I don't think I said hi to you tonight. Vegan pepperoni is pretty good too. Yeah, I haven't had any, at least recently, any vegan pepperonis. But yeah, the Impossible sausage that they put on this pizza at the Disneyland Hotel is pretty damn good. Especially once they put this mushroom sauce on top of it, it becomes heavenly. Uncle, have I tried the Trader Joe's vegan soy chorizo? Yeah, we used to eat that a lot. Yeah, well, we haven't had it recently, but yeah, lately Angie's not been too keen on the spicier foods. She's gotten older and all that. It just doesn't agree with her as much. She's never been a big fan of spicy, but I guess now it's a better idea to avoid spicy. But we'll get it once in a while. Oh, that's good to know, Peter. Yeah. Yeah, I've been buying it in the carton, the Just Egg. Yeah, I've been buying it in like a yellow carton kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, they switched to that a while ago from the plastic container thing. Yeah, it used to be like $4. Now it's like $7 or sometimes $8 for Just Egg. So that's why we're not buying it as often. Well, that's good, Heidi. Getting another Trader Joe's and a bigger one. Awesome. Sustainably Sam, happy Friday to you too, Sustainably Sam. I'm starting to feel hungry. I guess my gym trip's starting to catch up with me right now. M. Ryder, you tried vegan beef jerky? It's pretty good. Yeah, Angie just got me some. She got me some of my favorite, one of my favorite brands, that Louisville brand of beef jerky. Just like the basic flavor. I think it's called Original. That's all I like when I have vegan jerkies. I just like that original, that just the jerky. I don't need like teriyaki or whatever weird flavors. Not to say teriyaki is weird. I just like the traditional beef jerky, vegan beef jerky flavor. Let's see. Ryan, there's a recipe with mung beans to make a replication of Just Egg. Yeah, I've seen a few of those. Yeah, I think Angie may even tried one before. I'll have to ask her. But yeah, we like the Just Egg. It's just so nice and easy, and it's, it's pretty tasty. Sustainably Sam says, I do great work dispelling the dumbest myths and all the common arguments us vegans see or hear. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Yeah, I actually enjoy doing that. I don't know why. I guess it's the way I'm wired. Maybe because I'm a philosophy grad school dropout or something. But I really enjoy tearing apart these just horrible arguments against veganism. These horrible reasons why people say they can't be vegan. So, yeah, that's what I do. And again, I don't make fun of these people. I'm not saying they're bad people. I just see what they're saying. Then I think through them. I go, oh, don't look at this person. They look horrible. They're ugly or whatever. I don't like their body. I don't shame them in any way. If anything, I shame their horrible arguments, their misinformation, but I don't attack people. Hey, Brian Croc's here. Yeah, another person that appreciates the Just Egg switching to the cardboard containers. I just wish the prices would come down. From what I understand, and don't write any of this down, I could have the details wrong. I think the price increase is due to some expenses that Just Egg, whatever the parent company is called now, from their foray into producing lab-grown meat. And I think they kind of backed off from that, I think. But anyway, I think they devoted way too many resources, financial and time resources, into the lab-grown meat, which wasn't bringing in enough money yet. But Just Egg, they kind of forgot about and just let... Anyway, I think they're refocusing on Just Egg again, but they've had to raise the price because I think their financial position got weaker. And they just couldn't afford all the research and development costs, the high costs that went into the development of their not really widely available lab-grown meats. So I think Just Egg kind of suffered. But they said they're refocusing on that again and bringing back the Just Mayo that they made before the egg. So hopefully that'll be the case. Yeah, good point, Sustainably Sam. Yeah, we don't mention her name here. Her name is VD, has some serious issues. So she allows us to live rent-free in her mind, completely rent-free. If I say anything, I respond, it triggers her fragile ego, like precious snowflake. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, we live rent-free in her mind. Peter asked, am I going to respond to her response to my response thing? Like, no, it's stupid. No, I've already said what I need to say. I'm moved on. I'm not going to just keep making dumb videos about her. Yeah, Bob, I understand increasing the price doesn't automatically mean they'll be more profitable, but I'm sure, unlike myself, they have some CFOs working there that they've crunched the numbers on their spreadsheets and determined, like, if they price their product at such and such price, how much money will they make? And I think they've determined they need to raise the price for whatever reason. So, yeah, I understand. Things are complicated, but there's people way more intelligent as far as pricing goes than you or me, Bob. Unless you're some kind of CFO as well. Not as me, but like a CFO, like the CFO at Just Egg. Saladino ragging on Just Eggs because it has multiple ingredients. How come having multiple ingredients is automatically a bad thing? Like, it's like it's just you can have multiple ingredients and have a food. I'm not saying Just Egg is one of these, but just the concept of multiple ingredients in and of itself doesn't make a food unhealthy or bad for you. I mean, again, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So I would like Saladino to show us that having multiple ingredients automatically means a food is going to like wreck your health or something. Good point, AJ. Just egg has more protein and nutrients than chicken eggs, so Paul can go scratch himself. Bob, aha, you are the CFO of Just Egg. All right, awesome. I'm so blessed to have you here. We can ask you a lot of relevant questions. But no, CFO type questions, we don't really ask too much. I really don't care too much about the financial workings of companies. It's not it's not what I care about. If so, I would have been in finance. So anyway, what are you guys talking about now? Robert says Beyond Meat is still healthier than real meat. It's been proven. Well, it's not going to take years off your life, right? I mean, what is the main concern about eating? I mean, health concern wise, not the main concern that animals being killed, but what's the main concern about eating real burgers, meat burgers, dead animal burgers? Yeah, aside from the ethical, moral considerations, the main concern is, well, all that stuff in that raises your LDL cholesterol, the dietary cholesterol in the meat itself, the higher saturated fat combined together, it's going to raise your cholesterol and contribute to heart disease, the number one cause of death. Well, Beyond Burgers don't have the dietary cholesterol, and their saturated fat content, I think, is kind of comparable, but I remember you guys told me that they're working on it, reformulating the ingredients so it has even less saturated fat. So just that alone, that you're not going to raise your chance of heart disease the way a meat dead burger goes. Yeah, that should speak a lot. Remember, most people are dying from the leading causes of death. How many people die because of some esoteric ingredient that might be in a processed burger or something like that? You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, heart disease kills more people than any other disease. So that's what I would be concerned about. If you're playing the odds, heart disease is probably going to bring you down. If not, then the diabetes will. Yeah, Uncle. Yeah, you decided Hitchens razor there. That which can be asserted without evidence can also just easily be dismissed without evidence. If you're going to throw some crap at us and you have no evidence to support it, I don't need to find evidence to debunk it. You didn't have any evidence to start with. Yeah, unless you're one of these cholesterol deniers, these conspiracy theorists who are not, their beliefs are not in accordance or in agreement with any heart associations, like cardiology associations. Yeah, you have these clowns that never studied cardiology say cholesterol is good for you, when all the cardiology specialists say no, that's just complete horrible advice and they're killing people. Who would you listen to? Some guy with his shirt off in Costa Rica telling you to deny cholesterol? Don't worry about it. Or people actually understand and conduct the research in the field of heart disease and its relationship to cholesterol. To me, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, VLAM. Yeah, that's just an opinion, huh? A claim without evidence. I like that. I got to remember, that's a good one, VLAM. A claim without evidence is just an opinion. Exactly. People should, specify, this is just my opinion, but here's what I believe, or something like that. But no, people like to disguise their opinions as some kind of facts or something. Yeah, Jen Marie, yeah. Our bodies produce cholesterol naturally. So whenever you see these misinformation spreading meatheads saying, well, you got to eat cholesterol, no, it's not an essential nutrient. Our bodies produce it. You could have a completely cholesterol-free diet for the rest of your life and be fine. There's no need to get dietary cholesterol. That's just a bunch of misinformation. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I know this is how it works. But I mean, even though, yeah, we just talked about how our bodies produce cholesterol naturally. If for some reason, I'm not sure why, but if for some reason you needed to or wanted to increase your body, your cholesterol in your blood, there's ways to do it without eating dead animals. You can eat foods that are high in saturated fat, which will raise cholesterol, particularly LDL cholesterol. Again, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you could do it as a vegan. It's quite easy to do. Let's see. Robert's saying a nutrition professor in America did the study on Beyond Meat, compared Beyond Meat to grass-fed beef. Yeah, I remember seeing some studies. I think what I saw on the Beyond Meat website were some environmental studies, like how many resources were required as far as water, land, and all that. But yeah, let me know what you know about the nutritional study there, Robert. Good description, Chris Murphy, to Brian Kroc about how we see Bob here. Yeah, we love him, even when he trolls, but he's like our mascot, token, not quite vegan. I can't say I completely disagree with that description of Bob, Chris. Good one. I'm not saying I agree 100%, but I can't say I disagree with it. Wow, Milo, are you sure about that? I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong or not, but yeah, Dr. Bear's right. She wants to see if you have a source for that. I'd be interested to see that. I'm not calling you out or anything there, Milo. I just want to see what you know, if you have something that you can show us. If you have something you want to show us, Milo, I'm aware that unless you're a moderator, which you're not, you can't paste a link into the comments here. But if you have a page you want to show us, you can always paste me the title and I'll Google it and find it that way. So let us know if you know something, Maya. I'd like to know if it's, because I'm not a big fan of Roundup. That's what glyphosate is. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Roundup. I don't use Roundup in our garden or anything like that. I'm not a fan of the whole Monsanto. And who owns them now? Is it Dow Chemical? I'm not an advocate of that way of producing food, this chemical-based method. I like my food grown in soil rather than chemicals and sprayed with their shit. Anyway, yeah, let me know if you got something, Bob. Be curious. And not Bob, but Milo. And is Beyond Burgers, are they made with GM or what ingredient in I'm just curious though, Milo, what ingredient in Beyond Burgers utilizes that product in its production? Just curious. Yeah, is that who owns them now? Bayer? I forgot who bought the assets in the name of Monsanto. It's cool though they got rid of the Monsanto name. There's so much cool for them, like so much negativity around that. Now it's just people have forgotten about that. Oh yeah, there used to be a Monsanto exhibit at Disneyland back in the early days, like in the 50s or 60s. Yeah, in Tomorrowland. I don't think I ever saw it. I think that's before my time. Brian Kroc, no, your favorite argument with carnivores is no carb is necessary. Glucose seems pretty necessary. Well, they argue that because they're in ketosis, they're able to be in a ketogenic state and have their body convert protein into a carbohydrate or something like that. It's necessary, but it's not necessary dietarily, I guess. They're just drawing a line. Yeah, their body still is producing a carbohydrate or glucose-like compound or something like that. They're just not getting it through their diet. They're expending all this additional energy in their body needlessly to go through this really energy inefficient conversion process. Why don't you just eat a freaking banana or a potato? Why make your body do all that extra work? Yeah, good point, VLAM. Yeah, Roundup or whatever it's called is used to produce a lot of food. I don't know if it's it might not be fair to single out Beyond Meat. Let me look at the ingredients of Beyond Meat. Let me just take a look-see here. See what's in the ingredients. Beyond Meat. I Google this once in a while. Sometimes I make a video and I need to know this. I don't know it off the top of my head. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got pea protein, avocado oil, natural flavors, rice protein, lentil protein, potato starch, pea starch, potassium lactate to preserve freshness, fava bean protein, apple extract, pomegranate concentrate, potassium, salt, spice vinegar, vegetable juice. Yeah, which of these ingredients involves Roundup? Because I don't see anything in here that's GMO. Not to say that's the whole point. That's the beauty of Roundup as far as Monsanto goes. They developed their GMO foods to be able to withstand, like you could splash Roundup all over those plants and they're going to be fine. It'll kill the weeds and stuff, but it'll leave the plant that you're trying to grow for food intact. None of these appear to be of those Monsanto genetically modified foods. That said, yeah, anyone could still use Roundup as a what's that called, a herbicide. Nothing's stopping you, but it works best when you have their whole like GMO food and system there. Brian Kroc, you've literally had carnivores claim that in ketosis the body runs entirely on ketones. So that's the whole thing. They're trying to frame the argument with you, or the debate with you, Brian, in terms of diet and biology and digestion and all this crap. I mean, veganism is not about that. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. So apparently, if these carnivores don't give a crap about animals being exploited and suffering and ultimately slaughtered so they can enjoy their ketosis or whatever they're into. That's really what the debate is, that they're completely lacking any sense of compassion for animals. So yeah, they can talk about all the ketosis and all that stuff, but like really that's not what veganism is. It's not about biology or digestion. It's about not consuming animal products because you don't need to. You don't need to have animals to be healthy or anything like that. Again, that's just not my opinion. That is the opinion of health organizations from all around the world. That you can eat all plants and not die. In fact, you can be quite healthy eating all plants. So don't let them try to sidetrack you with their stupid digestion, biology crap. That has nothing to do with veganism. Veganism is all about not supporting animal cruelty and exploitation. You don't have to kill animals in order to live. And you don't need to eat animals in order to be healthy. That's what you should discuss with these guys. Once you start getting into these esoteric topics of biochemistry, which they don't understand. I'm sure none of these guys are like less than 1% of them actually studied biochemistry before becoming keto or carnivore. That means both of us, like you and them, are talking about things that you probably don't have any business debating because you guys are not experts. I'm not an expert in that either, but you don't have to be an expert to be vegan because it's all about understanding that you don't need to eat animals in order to live. You can eat plants, but they say you're going to die because you have to have animals in order to be healthy. No, you don't. According to health organizations, they are simply full of crap. Not the organizations, but the people asserting without evidence that you need to have animals in order to live. So don't let them steer you off in their stupid biochemistry crap. Yeah, okay, Brian, yeah, quite true. That has nothing to do with veganism. I just love arguing science. Philosophy was never your strength. Oh, okay, I see your point. But I'm just saying it's a moot point because that's not what veganism is. But if you just want to, for science's sake, debate biochemistry and hopefully you understand a little bit more about it than I do, good for you. Go for it then. But it's not a point worth arguing because the bottom line is that I'm not vegan for biochemistry or anything like that. I'm vegan for animals. And that's what they need to understand, that you're doing it for animals. I don't think they understand what veganism is. M. Ryder, what do I think of fasting? Is that a good thing? I don't fast. I personally myself don't see any benefit of fasting, and I'm not sure how I would incorporate fasting into my very busy, energy-filled life. I don't see how I'd be able to do all the work that I do, all the exercise I do, if I were not consuming sufficient calories to support my bodily functions. But hey, if any of you guys fast and you can work it into the routines of your life and you get benefits from it, either physical or spiritual, I'm not going to knock you. You do you, I do me. But personally, if you're asking my opinion, what Ryan does, I just gave it to you there. Milo, yeah, see, I'm not a big fan of Roundup at all. Maybe I missed one of your replies. Would you know, Milo? And if you don't know, it's totally cool. We all have our limited knowledge. I don't know any of these ingredients. Oops, I'm sorry. Any of these ingredients here in Impossible Burgers, are any of these like have to be grown using Roundup? That's what I'm asking you, because you talk about Roundup in Impossible Burgers, you can Google it. I'm not going to go Google it right now. If you want to Google it for me, please do, and let me know what you found. But yeah, here's the ingredients, and none of these strike me as Monsanto GMO foods, which are developed to withstand Roundup being soaking in Roundup. It won't kill the plant. But I'm just curious, are any of these ingredients here that they use for producing their burgers made with Roundup? I'm just curious. Again, I'm not disputing you. I would like to learn if there's something I don't know about how they're made. Like I said, I don't even eat this stuff all that often. I can't even remember the last time I had a Beyond Burger, honestly. Not this year, maybe last year or the year before. So I'm not trying to defend Beyond Burger. I just want to make sure that I know what I need to know about them. Okay, and Dr. Bear says to Milo, did you see your comment above that the dose, like the amount of Roundup, and context matters about, as far as the danger, the actual danger. Just, the fact that some Roundup is used in itself may not constitute much of a risk, but if there's a lot of it used, way more than what's, there's probably a threshold where a risk does really shoot up, so anyway, okay, so Dr. Bear's saying she did look it up. According to Beyond's website, their burgers are GMO free. As I thought, I tell you, none of these ingredients here really struck me as GMO produced. That said, yeah, any plant can possibly have Roundup used in its production, but none of these need it really. But anyway, what else did you say there, Dr. Bear? So yeah, their burgers are GMO free, as I've been saying for a long time here. So anyway, Brian, you think you had Beyond Meatballs last week? You know what makes good meatballs? IKEA. They're not fancy high tech like Beyond. Just simple old school like vegan meatballs. They're really good. I want to go back to IKEA, and you can eat them in the store, but in their frozen section, you grab a bag on the way out, pay for it obviously, and bring them home and store them. I just want to go there and eat their cheap hot dogs, and then when I go to IKEA, I go there as like a date almost. Angie and I will go and eat some hot dogs, and then we'll go and their hot dogs are old school. They're not like high tech Beyond. They're just simple old school like vegan hot dogs. They're cheap. They're like $1.25 or $1.50, pretty cheap. You go to any vegan restaurant, that's gonna be like $5 or something. Peter, that's always funny when people say, well, I kill fewer animals than vegans do because I eat one animal and I put it in my fridge and eat it all year. Like, who really does that? If Ken Berry does that, okay, what else? But really, you're going to tell people that they can only eat one thing all day, every day, every meal for the rest of their lives. They go and buy one cow, get a giant fridge or 2 or 3, and that's going to cost you a lot in electricity, especially if you live in Northern California. PG&E sucks. But anyway, my point was, that's all you're going to eat every day. You're not going to have any plants with that? You're just gonna eat one, just every breakfast. Go to the fridge or freezer, pull a bit of the animal out, cook it. Lunch, go to the fridge or freezer. You can't go to lunch with your friends, right? Because they're going to the restaurant. You have to go and bring your food from home. That's just bullshit. No one lives like that. That's just a fantasy. They're eating other foods. And then we can get into more. I'm just saying, I just don't buy this story. There's more wrong with it, but just on the face of it, I just smell baloney. Vegan baloney. Milo, yeah, I agree with you. I'm not a fan of Roundup. I'm just wondering why support a product that's allowed to have Roundup on it? But I mean, isn't any food that's I guess anything that's considered not organic can have Roundup on it? Is that right? But anyway, how I just want to know. You seem to be speaking very with a lot of certainty. I'm not saying you're a bad person, but I like you, Milo. Remember that. I'm not criticizing. I just want to know where you get your information that Beyond Burgers are like a very Roundup heavy product. I just want to know, like, yeah, I'm not saying you're bad. I just want to understand where this is coming from. Do you have anything we can have a look at? I think Dr. Bear would like to see it too, but I would really like to see it myself. Yeah, Dr. Bear, as if anyone only eats one animal per, and that's all they do for every meal, Dr. Bear. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. They don't go out with friends. They never put plants on their plate ever. Nothing. They just have one animal that they bought a year ago. They just keep going to the refrigerator every day, 365 days a year. I don't believe that. Okay, but Milo says Roundup is used as a desiccant on non-organic legumes and grains. Okay, it's not, but not all of them, right? I mean, it can be. It can be used in non-organic farming. I'm just asking you, what's the connection to Beyond Meat specifically? That's what I want to know, not to farming in general. I agree, yeah, but what you're saying there, it could be used on grain or legumes. I'm just wondering how, just where did you hear this at so I can have a look-see at it? That it's used specifically with Beyond Burgers. That's what I want to know, because I often hear, not because of you, but because of meat eaters will say, oh, Beyond products are so chemically and blah, blah, blah. I just want to know if what they're saying is right or not. That's really what I'm getting. I'm not trying to debunk you, Milo. I just want to know when I hear this from the meat eaters, the carnivore types, are they onto something? Do they know something that I don't? I'm just curious, because it'll help me in just having conversations with them. So Dr. Kim Berry goes to McDonald's. So how does he just eat one animal a year? So I'm saying, how can he's full of shit. He just said he only eats one animal. When you go to McDonald's, you not bring your animal with you and they're cooking it for you. It's just ridiculous. So he's not consistent in that philosophy. Oh, AJ, yeah, I take that back. We don't buy Beyond Burgers, but a couple times in the past year, I've gotten Beyond sausages for the weekend breakfast stuff. Exactly. Usually, we'll buy like a Whole Foods one or a Sprouts Market one. But a couple times when I've been in the store, I've seen the Beyond one on sale. Like, oh, this one's cheaper. Let's check it out. So I haven't bought the burgers, but yeah, I did bring a Beyond product in my house a couple times in the past year. Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 times in the past year, the Beyond sausage for the occasional like breakfast patty. But yeah, it's not my go-to brand or anything like that. Brian's favorite best meat substitute is Meaty. I've heard of them. I can't say for sure. I wish Angie were listening right now. She could verify if we've ever had their stuff. But I'll keep my eyes open for them, Brian. Thanks. Thanks for keeping my eyes for bringing them up again. Wow, Uncle, a Roundup lawsuit for $6.6 billion is pending. Whoa. Wow. For Roundup causing cancer. Yeah, see, I'm not trying to downplay the risks of Roundup. I'm not a fan of it. And if I could, Milo and Dr. Bear, if I could avoid foods that were produced using the now defunct Monsanto name, products like their Roundup and their whole GMO way of making foods. Not to say Roundup is the same as that, but it's I'm saying, if I could avoid all those Monsanto chemicals, totally cool. Yeah, I'm not a fan of theirs at all. But I just want to know what the real risks are. That's what I want to know. I want to understand what the actual known risks are as far as like in a Beyond Burger specifically. Vincent Mercado. We talked about garlic and onions earlier, and I told you I avoid them not for any particular reason other than I prefer to not have this extreme smell that occurs after I have garlic. Not extreme, but Angie can smell it for a couple days. I can smell it on her. Same with onions. As far as the health benefits of garlic, here's the whole thing about that. It's not like garlic is the only food that has, I forgot what the chemical or the compound was in garlic that has these great health benefits. It's in other foods that you can eat in higher quantities. Like how much garlic can you really eat? You know what I'm saying? It's not like a food that you eat like a bean or something like that. I guess you could, but I don't know that does that. But like they're in other foods that we eat, like Brussels sprouts and such. That's foods that I put all the time in my kitchery. So if you really want those health benefits of garlic, if you really think that's important, you might as well not eat garlic, or at least try to get that chemical from other foods that you can eat in greater quantities that what you can get from garlic. So I'm not missing out on the magic chemicals of garlic. I'm just getting it from other foods other than garlic. So hopefully that makes sense to you, Vincent. But I'm not anti-garlic saying don't eat garlic. I mean, as a human, you have the right to like or dislike certain foods. Like I hate red bell peppers. No, I hate green bell peppers, but I'm okay with red bell peppers. You know what I'm saying? We all have our preferences. I think the green ones taste like crap, but the red ones are okay. I can handle them. Garlic, I'm not a big fan of the taste, and I don't like my natural smell being hijacked and turned into this garlic smell for a few days. I have every right to have that. I said earlier that Angie and I might have a more sense. We both might have together like more sensitive smells. We're more sensitive to smells than average people are possibly. But anyway, it's fine to dislike garlic or whatever. We all have the rights to our personal preferences, and I'm not discouraging people from eating garlic. And like I said, you can always eat more of that magic garlic compound from foods that are not garlic. I made a whole video about this. I showed a whole list of foods that you can eat way more of. I think cauliflower had it too. Uncle, you think it's mostly ag workers. That would make sense, talking about that Roundup lawsuit. I get it, yeah, because it seems like they would be the ones, the people working in the fields, that would have the greatest exposures. Because as Dr. Bear pointed out earlier, the dose, the amount you're exposed to seems to be a very one of the biggest variables. So yeah, ag workers. But I'm wondering how much of a problem it is as far as cancer, increased rates of cancer. It goes to like just end consumers. Milo, why isn't there an organic commercial veggie burger? Well, there are, just not from those tech companies that I mentioned, like Beyond and all. But I've eaten like organic black bean burgers before that I can get at the market. I think they're organic. It's been a while since I bought one of my black bean burgers at the market. You guys can tell me. Any of you guys regularly buy black bean burgers? I haven't bought one for a while. I can't remember. I don't want to have a gun pointed in my head. Do you remember for sure if it said organic on there? I don't want to make that claim and be wrong. But yeah, the whole point is, Milo, I'm not a big fan of those Beyond Burgers or anything. I don't really promote them or tell people to eat them. In fact, I might say, hey, if you're transitioning to vegan, they're cool. Eat them if that's what you need to get off your meat addiction and move on to healthier whole food plants later on, hopefully. Awesome. They're a great transition food. That's I think that's the strongest thing about those foods. Okay, Dr. Bear looked up the Roundup lawsuit, and it seems to be about farm workers. Yeah, that's what I figured. Exposed to high amounts of Roundup, not consumers, who just ate a food, a crop that was producing. Yeah, that's what I imagine. I'm not saying that's good or bad or anything like that. It's just bad that innocent farm workers just trying to make a living are being exploited by not only the farms that employ them, but by the chemicals that are used to produce the foods on these fields that are actually dangerous at the doses that the farm workers are exposed to. Yeah, that's effed up. Again, I want to make it absolutely clear. I'm not making any apologies for Roundup. I'm not promoting it. I try to avoid foods that are grown with the whole Monsanto suite of chemicals. But, that said, I'm not perfect. So if there's some possibly used in a Beyond Burger that I'll have once in a blue moon. I can't remember the last one I had. It must have been at least a year, probably longer. Anyway. Let's see. Wow, 2.5 hours. No wonder why your vegan cult leader is feeling a little tired and hungry. So anyway, let's see if there's something quickly we could talk about before your cult leader moves on. Yeah, Dr. Barry, I'm with you. Yes, that is very effed up. No farm workers, no field workers should have to be exposed intentionally by the people who employ and exploit them to toxic chemicals. Absolutely. I agree. There should be, that should be illegal, right? I mean, these poor people, they're getting exploited in so many ways. And they don't know all the risks. They don't know that there's these gnarly chemicals that they are exposed to. And the the exposures such that are carcinogenic. Let's see, I've heard that theory too, Peter. A certain organization that believes that Roundup might be what's causing the increased rates of autism, which is garbage because you've had autism when you were a kid, didn't have much of that. But yeah, I've seen that the rates there's a higher rate or percentage of diagnosed autistic people now. It could just be that doctors are more aware of autism now than say when I was a kid, so possibly just increased awareness is what's responsible, what's causing that increased number or percentage of autistic diagnoses. So who knows? Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but who knows? Maybe Roundup has something to do with it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not an epidemiologist. I don't look into that kind of science. Yeah, sustainably sound. More reasons why I hate Monsanto Dow. Yeah, there's seed patents. Have you heard about this? Which means that if their scientists or their employees find that the proprietary genetically modified DNA from their effed up GMO plants, their Monsanto plants, somehow makes their way into like a nearby farm, Monsanto has in the past, I don't know if they're still doing this, but they have sued these innocent farmers who never bought the Monsanto stuff. Like, hey, you're using our product. Well, it was cross-contamination. It just blew over from the neighboring farm. Why are you suing us? We're not. But anyway, yeah, there's so many reasons to dislike the practices of Monsanto Dow. Absolutely. That's why if we can, as much as possible, not support them. There's just so much wrong. Suing innocent farmers, intentionally exposing farm workers to a known carcinogenic chemical, and this chemical is just not all that great for human health in general. Not as bad when we're talking to the consumer level, but definitely for the farm worker level. Just so much bad to say about them. Wow, VLAM, you think... I haven't seen that. World population might drop precipitously in the 2050s. I wonder what the consequences will be about that. And I'll check. Yeah, it sounds interesting. I am interested in that topic, actually, because I've seen how in Japan and now South Korea, people can't afford and don't want to have babies. The older, there's just not enough of the next generation being born, so that's going to cause problems in a decade or 2 or 3 and more down the line. I wonder what the other if there's other causes for this population decline besides what's happening there in those Asian countries. Is it different in, say, African countries or European countries? Different reasons. Yeah, I gotta get going soon too, Chris. But yeah, good question there at the end. Milo, yeah, you won't catch me buying Roundup, spraying that on my lawn or anything like that. I don't want any of that in my garden. I have a fully 100% organic garden and yard here. I can pull out a few weeds if I have to. I don't need to nuke the soil with Monsanto Roundup. Yeah, and they were a chemical, I don't know if they still are, but yeah, that's what they're known for. They're a chemical weapons manufacturer. Yeah, like Agent Orange, right? That's one of their specialties there. Killed a bunch of our army people in Vietnam. So they moved on. Once the war was over, hey, let's get into the agriculture business. People need our chemicals now that the war's over. Let's make the food industry become dependent on us. So yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not an apologist for what Monsanto does and has been doing. So, I guess we should call it a night, huh, guys? 2 hours, 36 minutes. That's a live stream in my book. What do you guys think? Like I said, I'm feeling pretty hungry. Even though I didn't play any games today at the gym for basketball, I did a lot of jumping workout. I did, like my rim grabs. My wrist is sore, my forearm's sore, my legs are sore, and just other jumping exercises too. I'm trying to get my hops back now that I'm fully healthy. My foot sprain seems to be 100% gone now. I feel 100%. I don't even have any little dumb injuries right now. Knock on wood. I'm as healthy as I can be right now, bodily wise. So, trying to take advantage of that. Trying to get my legs back. So anyway, guys, let's see. Let's see, Dr. Bear. Let's see this person's comments. I don't know. Why are we talking about the Bible right now? Why'd you come to a Buddhist and give me your religion? I could paste some quotes. I assume that's right. I could paste some quotes from my religion, but religion has nothing to do with it. I mean, there's all sorts of things in all sorts of religious texts from around the world that we wouldn't want to do. Maybe some of the stuff described in the religious stories were appropriate for that historical point at time, but I'm not vegan because of my religion. I don't know why we're talking about a religious quote here. So anyway, yeah, if you want to come back next week and talk about it, maybe Alex, whatever, yeah, bring it back. But remember, this is not a theological discussion place. This is a discussion about veganism. So if you have a point you want to make about veganism and not have to rely on a biblical quote to make your point, can you just make your point yourself? Because if you tell me God said to do this, I really don't care. No offense to any of you Christians out there, or atheists, or whatever religion you might be. It doesn't really matter to me because that's not my religion. But I respect religion, obviously, and I've read the Bible, is great and all. But I'm saying just because God might say something doesn't mean I'm impressed by that, because that's not how I arrived at my decision to go vegan. I didn't read a religious text and say, hey, I'm gonna be vegan now. It's because I realized that animals didn't need to die in order for me to live. I could live off plants and bypass the whole killing animals part of staying alive. So we could talk more about that next week if you're new. So anyway, thanks everyone. Thanks for all your super generous super chat tips tonight. Hardly Tin Man Adonis and Hector and Jennifer Marie and AJ Vintage and Vegan Metalhead. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate that. Angie does too. And I just appreciate you guys just being nice, friendly, good people. I just enjoy seeing your thoughts, interacting with my thoughts on a weekly basis. It really is healthy and good for me, and hopefully you guys get something positive out of this as well. And I want to thank our moderators, Uncle and Peter. I think it was a pretty chill night, right? We didn't really have anyone that needed to be banned or put in timeout, but I appreciate you being there, having my back for me in case, it gets out of hand and I can't ban people fast enough. So thank you so much, guys. So yeah, your cult leader is going to go join forces with his wife, figure out what to do with our evening, which we have for dinner and all that. And who knows, maybe I will take a little bit of your donations tonight and get some Panda Express. Maybe we'll see. I'll discuss it with Angie. But appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you, guys. So new videos for next week. I already think I know what my next video is going to be. So if you have some more for me, Peter, you can send them, but I think I know what I'm going to work on. I saw something that really is right in my wheelhouse for next week. So I should have something out for you middle of next week. Another live stream next Friday. And who knows, Angie's making shorts. And she showed me how to make shorts on a response I did to VD there. So I know how to make shorts now. So I'm going to start making shorts. So make sure you are all subscribed. And more importantly than that, have the notification bell hit. So you know when we put out these shorts, these YouTube short videos, as well as live streams and the new vids. So we'll see you there. All right, love you too, guys. Love you, Milo. Thanks, everyone, and I will see you next week. Remember, till next time, it doesn't suck being vegan. Bye, guys. Much love.